Oh, we're on? Oh, we're in!
Oh, yeah.
Ding! Ding, ding. Dun, 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 dun,
If we're on.
Hello.
dun. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
May I take you to the 13th floor, everybody? And take your bags?
This building's only 10 stories tall.
But I only do it for...
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
You guys creeped out yet? Spooked a little bit? Oh, that's great. Alright.
We're live!
Links us up.
What is up, man? The timing.
Yeah,
It's already on there.
Wow. He was waiting.
I think Link was the first person.
Yeah.
He's always the first person.
Yeah.
Wink.
And Ramos.
Guess who's back? Back again. I'm back because YouTube notified me this time.
Yay, new
Well,
YouTube.
Good for YouTube, yeah, man.
Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Guess who's back? I'm
Guys.
back.
It is a spooky live stream. It is spook season.
Sweet.
And I am all in on this. I've been watching horror movies all week. I just got finished watching Pumpkinhead last night.
I don't know if I've seen that movie all the way through.
God, it's so fucking weird. It's so weird.
And it has that guy from the main actor, not the Pumpkinhead guy, but the guy that summons the Pumpkinhead with the
Yeah.
old man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's been in other stuff too. I want to say like Jaws, maybe.
Jaws, yeah.
Was it Jaws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's totally different. Like, going from Jaws to this, like, have you seen Pumpkinhead?
I don't think so.
Like, watching Pumpkinhead, he just, like, they resurrect Pumpkinhead, and then, like, he's, like, cursed with this thing, and, he's burying, like, he's, like, digging a hole, and then he's, like, collapsing, he's just, like, get it out of me! Like, it's, like, going from being, like, the hero of Jaws to him being just, like, I'll kill myself! And it's like, whoa, it's like, dial it back, sir.
It has doll's eyes. Oh wait, that's the other guy. That's right.
Okay.
Ramos says, I went to Epic Comics this week, but I guess you weren't working that day, John. No, I don't.
He doesn't work there.
I don't work there. Because I figured, honestly, there's been times where we've been talking about Epic Comics, and like I'm hearing the conversation that we're having, and I'm just like, I think people are gonna start thinking I work there.
Yeah.
No, I don't work there, but I mean, I might as well. I'm like there a lot.
I might as well just be there.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people walk in, I'm like, hey, can I help you out with
Yeah.
something today? You know, just if like
Have you been
all
there?
the other guys
Have
are.
you been there lately?
Yeah, I was there. When was I there? I was there Monday, Tuesday. I was there. Yeah, I've been going a lot more now. I got time, so.
Hey guys, I wanted to apologize. I accidentally deleted the last live show from last Friday on accident.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's on accident.
It was part of a clone saga. There were multiple
Yeah.
videos, and
Yeah.
he accidentally deleted one, and it was like, oh, it's just like on the other video. I'm like,
Ah,
bye.
We got you. So hopefully, maybe we can get back up. But if not, you guys got to see it for the, when it was live.
We got this stream to replace it, maybe. So,
Yeah.
I've been watching horror movies like crazy, decorating the house, all that kind of stuff. I re-downloaded Bloodborne and
Yeah, I got
and
that.
Resident Evil.
He says.
Yeah. We got a nice little Pyrex hutch. The wife has Pyrex. I have Funko Pops. Let's make this happen.
Mix and match.
So, what have you guys been doing to get ready for like
For
the Halloween
Halloween?
season? Yeah. Get yourself in the mood.
I have.
Was that, as you can see, I'm wearing something.
I mean, I've just been nothing too serious. I mean, I'm always watching horror films.
Mhm.
I just watched the Hulu original Light as a Feather. I finished that.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's
What's that?
alright.
I've never
It's
heard of it.
pretty much these group of girls play.
Oh, that game. Like,
yeah,
I
Light as a
heard of the
Feather,
game. I just didn't
Sword,
know
yeah.
the show.
Yeah, they did a little thing.
Okay.
And it's it's pretty good. Yeah, it's one of the girls who's from 13 Reasons Why.
This is the main girl?
No, not
Oh, okay.
not Hannah or Heather or
Hannah.
whatever
I,
H name starts with, but
One of my guilty pleasures as a kid was to watch Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I looked everywhere. Finally found it on my Fire Stick. Turned it on the other night, and I was like, in heaven, man. It's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my, like, for Halloween, it's one of my things. I love to watch that if I can find it, or, you know, I want to go out and buy the DVD. But I love that movie. It's so great.
You can't beat the classics.
No. And it had all, I didn't know this, but it had all the original actors for Dracula, Frankenstein, and Werewolf.
Really?
That were in those single movies, yeah.
I gotta go back and watch it.
It's so good.
What's up, Nathan?
Nate,
Nate.
what's going on,
Or
man?
Snake.
Snake.
Watch out, it'll come for you.
Snake Plissken. Snake.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much.
Well, no, he wants to be Snake, known from Metal Gear Solid, right?
Yeah.
There's also the Hulu original, like it's kind of like a Black Mirror. It's called Into the Dark. It's the
Okay, is that what that is?
every holiday is a different. Every holiday is gonna have a different. Basically, it's a movie. It's like an hour. So for October, we got for the month of October, we got this like hour movie about this murder or whatever. It was pretty good. I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do for like Thanksgiving and December. It's supposed to be for like every holiday.
Are these movies for different holidays connected at all? Is it like an anthology?
I don't know. From what I gather, because a lot of people were like, oh, like my roommate was like, oh, I hope it's gonna be like you know, American Horror Story, where all the cast keeps going over.
Oh, just like
into each
just
season.
changing characters.
But nah, it looks like it's about to be just random people, random actors each. Each.
I've been watching that, the new American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, it's good.
My wife doesn't like it as much as I like. I'm digging it. It's pretty cool how they're mixing everything together.
I think it's pretty good.
Nice.
I believe that it possibly could be like in everybody's mind that the world had ended, and that's what this guy is making them think.
Oh, that'd be like a twist, like everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Oh, no spoilers though.
No spoilers, but I'm thinking.
So the premise is that it's the apocalypse, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that's the premise of this
I'm only
season,
gonna say that, but
Yeah.
there's someone in the show that can twist your mind and do things.
Oh, so maybe he's okay.
I'm thinking he possibly, maybe is tricking everybody.
That's a theory. Or maybe
So-
maybe they're making you think that, and then they'll pull a different twist.
Yeah. So I
I'll
mean,
tell you what I'm really excited for. Sabrina.
yeah,
it's
I am
coming to
too.
Netflix.
It looks really cool.
Oh,
I watched a couple, like back in the day when I was younger, I'd watch the old one.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Here and there, like here and there. And
we're
I was
watching
like,
that again right
I was
now.
like, it's okay.
As
It
we're
was-
falling asleep.
It was silly.
Wife puts it on, and there was one where she wasn't getting enough recognition for her success on tests and science projects, and so she put a spell on everybody to make them like really appreciate her, and so like it got to the point where she'd just be standing there and somebody would be like come up to her and be like, do that again. She's like, what? She's like, they're like, the thing where you inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. You mean breathing? Yes, do it again. Like,
Do you think they'll get her in the show? Like you think
Melissa
they'll?
Joan Hart?
Yeah.
oh, like a cameo?
Yeah, you think they'll?
That'd
do
be
that?
interesting. I don't know if they would though,
They
because it's not like
When they
related at
kill
all.
her off.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I saw something about that, like people wanting to have her in it or something like
Mhm.
that. But I don't remember though. It's definitely not related. That Sabrina, the '90s Sabrina versus what we're about to get with Netflix is completely different.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it looks very dark. Like it looks cool. I think I'm gonna dig that show.
Yeah, as it should be. Like I don't know if you've ever read the the Chilling Tales of the Sabrina
I never did.
storyline.
Never did.
It's really dark. Like
Well,
it's
awesome.
good.
Well,
Yes,
seeing,
it's
seeing that,
really good.
like Zach's been wanting me to. He's like trying to get me and Lisa to watch Riverdale for the longest time. So I'm like, I told her the other night, I was like, let's give it a shot. Like,
Don't do it.
no,
What?
Don't do it.
it looks cool. It looks dark.
So many people have tried to get me to watch that because I am a huge Archie fan. Like I love the OG stuff, and I'm not one of those people like, oh, because they're changing something, I'm not going to watch it. That's not true at all. If that was the case, I wouldn't be watching movies in general.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I can't do Riverdale for some ungodly reason. I don't know why.
You've tried.
I watched the first episode, and it just didn't do anything for me. And then I rewatched it again, and it still didn't do anything for me.
Man.
I understand the concept. I know what's going on in the show because I have a lot of people who watch it who talk about it
Mhm.
around me, but I'm just like, eh. And then from the trailers and stuff, not for me.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's a
I really enjoy it.
dark love triangle High School Musical chick.
I'm into like that. I'm into that ghost stuff. So ghost and haunted stuff. So or murder mystery.
Murder
like,
mysteries, yeah.
It sounds cool.
Nathan said Riverdale's cool if you don't take it super seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it is based on the funnies.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like a dark take on it. But like,
That's cool.
you'll have.
I'd rather do that. I wasn't a big Archie person necessarily as a kid, like reading them.
You'll have characters show up that you recognize, and it's like, once you hear the name, you're just like, oh, okay, that's this universe's version of that character, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm not a huge fan of like those kind of like Pretty Little Liars type shows or whatever, but this for some reason did it for me personally. But like Sabrina, apparently it's like super dark, like darker.
And I'm ready for that. Like I'm ready to watch that.
As I look back here, I forgot I hung up this Marvel Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
They just came out with a new Marvel Zombie comic, issue 1.
Nice.
I kind of like peeked through it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty cool, dude. Like I'll spoil a page for you guys. Let's just say they have a Doc Ock octopus zombie, like younger, like he looks like a younger kid like version. It's like kids almost. And Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man character, shoots his web at the back of Doc Ock and rips his spine completely out in the panel. I was like, dude, I'm ready to read this. Like,
Damn.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
The Marvel zombie stuff has always been like really good.
I've been kind of like going that route, like reading, like like my review on the Magic Order. It's a little on the darker side. It's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah.
That's why I covered that this week.
That's the good
But
stuff.
I'm reading that, I'm reading that kind of stuff right now to get me in the mood for Halloween stuff.
Nice.
Sure.
That works.
We have some stuff to talk about. Not everything is spooky, but I do want to incorporate spooky stuff throughout.
Sure.
That's the theme of this show, but I do want to touch on some things that happen during this Halloween season in the news, basically. A lot of it's like TV stuff.
Also, guys, thanks for watching us, even though I know Daredevil's out right now, season 3. So thanks for watching us and not watching Daredevil.
Goes down to one viewer.
Yeah, right. What?
What did you say? Daredevil season 3.
That one viewer is
I'm gonna go
us.
binge watch it tomorrow. So.
So apparently, okay, I want to start off with some movie news. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 apparently is pushed back to start shooting in 2021. Just to start filming 2021.
That has to ruin so many things.
That is, like, we're going to have forgotten about Guardians by that point. Like, the same thing with The Flash. Like, The Flash was just pushed back to 2021. Guardians? Or The Flash? Yeah.
I mean,
the
the Guardians were cool, but it wasn't like. I'm not like.
Ramos says I'm mad at Netflix over Iron Fist, so Daredevil's being boycotted for like a day.
Oh, come on,
Take
dude.
that, Netflix.
That's good, Ramos. I like that, man.
I mean, Iron Fist, they'll probably mix them in here and there.
Oh, I honestly think that your next, because I honestly think that your next step for Iron Fist is, all right, his show's done. That's fine. Now he's just gonna trickle into Luke Cage, I figure, and then they could turn Luke Cage, instead of doing like just Luke Cage, it can just turn into Heroes for Hire.
That was my idea.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's
cancel
I think,
Luke Cage, make a new show with Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to cancel Luke Cage.
Well, I wouldn't want it to be like he comes, like Iron Fist
Called
comes
Luke
in.
Cage.
And just, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
Well,
rather
then
just-
why only do a season and then he gets put into that season and then eventually at the end of the season,
Yeah, they could just
Heroes for Hire,
Yeah.
and that's the next season.
or they could just change
Or
the
the next
title to
show.
Luke Cage Heroes for Hire,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, the problem with that though is like you have like in the MCU, like the movies, you had Civil War, which is like a Marvel wide event, and then they had
they
the
called
movie
it
called Captain America.
Yeah, it was
Civil
annoying.
War.
Yeah, Captain America Civil War. I'm like,
Just
like,
call
no,
it
it's-
Marvel Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but we know why they did that.
yeah, of course.
They also removed an untitled Marvel release date from 2020, so I guess that was supposed to be Guardians 3.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of over be honest with you, with all this stuff that happened with the Guardians, I'm over the Guardians at this point. Just like I'm over wrestling, I'm over the Guardians.
I think it's kind of crazy that it's happening with Guardians, considering that that's what's getting a big push in the parks right now,
Yeah.
like the Disney parks.
That's their
We're
biggest.
getting-
That's their biggest thing.
I
Right
mean,
now.
again, it was a cool movie. The characters are cool. I just never really picked up as a kid. oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, let me go read that. Like,
Yeah,
it
most
wasn't-
people did.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the movies, again, 1 and 2, I'd be okay if they didn't even make a 3. Like, I mean, unless you're gonna put Adam Warlock in this next movie, I don't even want to go see it.
And that's what I was talking about by pushing the movie back. Adam Warlock, your plans for Adam Warlock are now it's pushed back, and we people expected to see Adam Warlock after the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't have him, like, I don't even want a
Somewhere
third. Like, why even have the third movie? Because, like,
Apparently, well, another thing that came with this kind of news is apparently it's rumored that Marvel is actually looking at female directors to direct it, which I don't know what that
To direct
has.
Guardians.
Guardians, yeah.
of course, that's the way
But-
everything's going right now. I'm
But I don't
saying.
know what the significance of
Yeah.
that is. You
Well,
know? I mean, like, I mean, that's fine if they want to have a female director. That's great, do it. But I don't know why specifically.
they're making a big
Yeah.
deal about that.
Because
or-
like it was.
I think
Because it was-
it's just the way things are going now everywhere. Like, let's have women do this and see what happens.
Well, they wanted a female director for.
Until they
Wonder
find
Woman.
some weird
They wanted a female director for Black Widow.
Until they find some
Marvel.
weird Twitter account that she said something and then they.
Well, no, and that's fair. That's fair to have a. That's fair to have. I think, you know, not offense to anybody, but like I think having a woman director for like the women superheroes.
Correct.
Should I think it gives a bit more to it because a guy can write. You know, guys can write for direct the movie for a woman, but I think a woman director would give more insight
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
something
of course.
better, something different.
I mean, look at Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was because it was Wonder Woman was a big
Where's
show.
our Wonder Woman trailer?
Oh, we're not gonna get that.
Oh,
until-
yeah, it won't be for a while.
I want to see what Cheetah looks like because if they could pull up, if Aquaman, why not like? All right, here, I'm gonna throw this at you. I know I've been throwing Legion of Doom for the longest time.
Hit me with it, bro.
Black Manta looks badass. Okay, like
Yes.
everything they've done, like just seeing that trailer with him fighting, like they showed more fighting with him in it. Like, dude, I mean, literally hair stood off my arm, like jumped
Yeah.
off my arm, ran away.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, he could be in it. If they make Cheetah look cool, and then have Lex Luthor, and then whoever else, and do a Legion of Doom. Just do a Legion of Doom movie. You don't even have to have the Justice League. Legion of Doom movie. That's
Yeah,
it.
that'd be great.
I think it'd be awesome.
Remo said Guardians was only successful because of Gunn. Without him, I see no point in continuing.
Cool.
He put a lot of heart into it though.
He did.
Like,
He
even
did.
like those scenes of Groot dancing were like motion captures of him dancing,
Well,
like video.
Well, let's hope he takes that over to DC and makes something.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm done hearing about Gunn and
it's all over the place.
I'm done hearing about Batista and this and that. I'm like, whatever,
He
dude.
needs
Like,
to-
leave. If you don't want to be on the Guardians of the Galaxy, leave. I don't care what you do. They can kill you off and they'll put another person in your place.
I think he's trying to do that because there's like a contract involved. I think
Yeah.
he's trying to like badmouth Disney so that they'll like release him.
Yeah, they'll come
Go
on.
ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, kill off your character and then that's it. Like, they'll have a woman, Drax.
Draxet.
Drax.
But yeah, it's funny that you said Lex Luthor a minute ago because that was my next
Oh,
my
okay.
next news thing.
Whoa, segue.
Segue. Not everybody can ride. Apparently, Lex Luthor is officially coming to season 4 of Supergirl as a recurring role.
Really?
And people want Michael Rosenbaum
Of
to
course
reprise
they
his
do.
role because
They
every
do.
time Lex Luthor is mentioned in anything, they'll
He was a
like bring
good.
him
Well,
back.
he was a good Lex Luthor.
He was
Really
great,
good.
yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who played Lex Luthor
I
better
mean,
than him.
nothing against Jesse. Is it Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah, Jesse
Yeah, yeah.
It just.
Yeah, but Jesse Eisenberg.
I didn't like him until the end.
Well, he's a totally different
Yeah,
version.
yeah, he's I don't know. Yeah, there's this whole thing, because like when that movie came out, there's this whole thing about how he's not Lex Luthor, he's Lex Luthor Jr.
Yeah.
He's the son, and
Oh.
people just keep completely disregarding that and
Yeah.
just keep saying, oh yeah, that's not my Lex, and I'm like, well yeah, no, it's his son. It's not
his
supposed to.
offspring.
It's
Well-
it's not supposed to be his Lex. And he was based on Earth 2's Lex Luthor,
What about-
Alexander Luthor, with the long red hair. That's why he was based on that.
What
character.
about the guy that played Walter White as like? Then wasn't he Lex Luthor?
That's who fans wanted to play. The
Brian
Heisenberg.
Oh,
Yeah. Breaking Bad? Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. Oh.
Yeah.
I think he would be a cool Lex Luthor.
There's
If he did Walter White Lex Luthor.
Well, there was
Not gangster.
a video that Jeremy Johns, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jeremy Johns.
Yeah.
On YouTube, he did a video when they first announced Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and he was like, he's like, I feel like it went like this, like, Sir, Mr. Snyder, we need somebody to play Lex Luthor, and fans really want Heisenberg to play him. He's like, yes, great idea, Jesse Heisenberg. I'm gonna dial it right now. It's like, no, that's not what it's already ringing. It's already ringing.
Ramos said if dude who played Clark didn't come back, Michael's not coming back, especially since he's so very defensive of gun too. Yeah, that's true. Michael Rosenbaum also doesn't want to do anything with superheroes. Like, he doesn't want to do anything, but at the same time, he wants to do something with Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I think I remember reading something about Michael Rosenbaum wanting to do something with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
If James Gunn was going to do it, but that's not happening.
Well, now Suicide Squad, he could
Yeah.
he could play Lex Luthor in Suicide Squad.
We're bringing him over.
Well,
that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, at this point, who knows who's gonna play what? At this point,
we'll see.
we keep getting conflicting reports of Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill out as Superman and Batman, and then like the next day, never mind, because they're just on hold. And then the next day, it's like, no, they're officially in, but maybe not.
And then we're gonna do Michael B. Anthony as.
Ramos says he's Martin X in Guardians too. Yeah, I mean, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna continue though because of the whole gun thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows though? I mean,
That'd been a cool spin-off movie though.
What?
The original Guardians.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
for
cool.
sure.
The original.
At the end of Guardians 2, they
Yeah.
showed like the original
Like the
Guardians team.
the OG team.
Oh really?
Minus what's his name being dead, but.
Well, who was Stallone then?
Stallone was Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was
Does he look it up? Oh, by the
he looks better in the suit than what's his name does.
Dude, I can't take this anymore.
We're gonna talk about this in a
I
minute.
can't take it anymore.
Let's look this up.
We're about to get I'm done with
that.
WB or C. Or I'm done with CW.
We'll get into it in a second.
Well, Elseworld, these nuts.
Elseworlds, these nuts.
Jesus.
God.
No, he put it. It's already in there. Starker.
Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Starhawk.
Yeah, Starhawk.
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 I'm Starhawk, not Star Lord.
But,
Kismet.
Now, you think for Starhawk, was he like this? Like every time he would be like, I'm Starhawk. That'd be awesome, dude.
Taserface. Taserface is great.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, who knows? We don't know how anything's going right now.
I'm okay. Like if it never gets made, I'm okay.
I watched.
I'm not gonna cry.
I mean, at this point, with it being pushed back that far, I feel like it doesn't really need to get made. Like, just do a new
At
cast.
that point, just shift it.
I'm okay. Like do another movie. Do something else.
Yeah. Like if it's not even filming till 2021, we're not gonna get that shit until 2023.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh by then I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Guardians.
And then
Guardians
any plans for anything Guardians of the Galaxy is just gonna be no one's gonna care at that time. I think what they should do, just scrap Guardians now as it is, and bring forth a different team, bring a different team of people.
Well, because the first two movies were good.
Agents of Sword. That'd be dope.
I mean, there's a whole Marvel universe worth of characters that they could do besides Guardians. I think leave it on a high note.
Well, that's the thing. You have your defense. If you're looking at like Earth, and then you're looking at like Earth, and then looking at the planets in our solar system. As you get closer to Earth, you have a different set team of Guardians. So your Guardians of the Galaxy is literally your Guardians of the Galaxy. As you get closer to Earth, then you have your Agents of Sword, who are literally just like they're basically on the outskirts of Earth, like in the orbit or whatever. Then as you get to Earth,
My mind's just been blown.
as you get to Earth, you have the Avengers. Like you have your set teams to stop whoever's coming to Earth,
Yeah.
whilst like to just kind of stop them before they get to Earth. Agents of S.W.O.R.D. is not something that a lot of people know about. Like that was a brief, like a very brief thing. If you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5, there was a pretty little mention to them, but like you don't. It's a very small group of people.
Okay.
But I mean,
Agents of S.W.O.R.D.
but you could bring in a different team. Like why wait that long? Like Kevin Feige has to be sitting here and being like something has to he has to be like, all right, well we can't do Guardians anymore. It's gonna get, like you said, it's gonna get pushed back to 2021, which means we won't get the movie till 2023. We need to do a new team, bring in a new cast of people.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with that, like how many times do you want to see?
It's gonna be fantastic.
How many times do you want to see Groot get blown up and then become baby Groot and then grow up to be teenager Groot?
I just want to see one more.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Like from
Um,
what I've seen so far, I'm okay with the first two. If they don't do another one, and like I said, unless you have Adam, I want Adam Warlock so I can see him. Like I want to see the character in him.
Oh, evil Adam.
Yes,
Yeah,
I want to see that character in live action.
Adam Warlock.
Yes.
And then Adam.
I want to see
Warlock.
both of them in live
Yeah,
action.
that'd be dope.
We actually have breaking news, guys.
Breaking news.
This just in.
What?
We were just talking about this literally 5 minutes ago. Luke Cage canceled at Netflix after 2 seasons.
Yep.
What?
His Heroes for Hire in the Works
Yep.
is the title of the article.
What did we talk about last
Dang,
Friday?
son. Hey, Netflix.
Last Friday. Was it
Yeah,
last
yeah,
Friday? Yeah, last Friday I was like, yo, they're gonna start canceling. Iron Fist is gonna be the first to cancel. Bet money says they start canceling the
Luke
other
Cage.
shows too.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's gonna be either Luke Cage, Jessica, or Punisher, because they're not canceling Daredevil. That's their
It's
flagship.
not Punisher.
It's
Punisher's.
We'll see.
At
We'll
this
see,
point,
man.
I think Punisher's right
All,
below Daredevil.
all I'm saying is you're getting rid of things that have 2 seasons. What's stopping? What's like? All I'm saying is Punisher again doesn't have enough weight or momentum to carry on.
Well,
for another
it's
season.
definitely getting a season 2.
Is it? Has it
Yeah.
been confirmed for a season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
They already were filming it.
Well,
Season 2. They
I mean-
better have season 2. I'll be pissed.
well, I didn't hear a confirmation about season 2.
You hear that? You hear that, Netflix?
Did you hear a confirmation?
What?
Season 2 Punisher? Is that confirmed?
Season 2 of Punisher?
Yeah.
It's already filmed.
Yeah, it's already filmed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alright, so they'll probably drop. Then they'll drop season 2. And then
Yeah.
hopefully after that, it doesn't get canceled.
Did you hopefully
For Ryan's sake, because Ryan really likes that show.
punished.
I mean, Jessica Jones, I thought would be
Ramos
the first one.
says, bro, started buffering as you said breaking news. Oh, alright, so
Luke
to,
Cage.
to recap,
Luke Cage is canceled.
yep. Luke Cage is done.
After 2 seasons of Iron Fist and 2 seasons of Luke Cage,
Don't
they're
know.
both
He's no longer
canceled.
invincible. He got cut.
Nathan, they were filming a season 2 of Punisher.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So now I was at Epic Comics talking about it with those guys, and like I said before, your best bet, you cancel Iron Fist, that's fine. Bring him over to Luke Cage, do Hero for Hire. Now that they're both canceled, you can create a whole completely different show, Heroes for Hire. Just have at it. And then not only that, you can bring in Misty and
Misty Knight.
oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on Danny's girl.
Oh,
Jessica? No, not Jessica.
um,
Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on his girl right now.
anybody know the girl's name that Danny was dating? The one that got
I'm completely drawing
the
a
one
blank.
that got the
Totally,
iron
yeah.
fist at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
No spoilers, man.
whatever.
Hey, so-
Hey, by now if they haven't seen it,
Hey,
they can
boy.
all go to hell.
What
I'm
is-
just kidding.
What's it called? Colleen
Colleen
Ramos. So now with so you can split
The protector of
because
New York City.
because with Iron Fist done and Luke Cage being canceled, you can do 2 shows now. You can do Luke Cage Iron Fist Heroes
And
for
then Misty
Hires,
Knight
or you
and-
can do you can do Misty and Colleen, which is Daughters of the Dragon. That's the name of their
Which
team.
I've heard rumors.
It's yeah. Oh, they were talking about because when you see Colleen and Misty together, they're a good team. Like especially when they were fighting the tattoo chicks in season 2.
yeah.
Yo, they were a good team.
So I wonder
son.
if all right, so Luke Cage and then the girl that plays Jessica Jones. I wonder if she was like, I'm next.
Oh, Kristen Ritter?
Yeah, she's like
She might be.
drinking her.
Yeah, she's
Starburst.
probably drinking her
Starburst. Oh my god.
After season 2 of Jessica Jones, though, like
I think they're gonna keep Jessica only on and like again, not to offend anybody, but
Oh, because of the women stuff.
women show.
yeah. But that's the thing is
And
like
we don't have enough or
it's-
a lot of them
They're
at
like,
the
you know
moment.
what? Get rid of
So
these
I
two
think
guy shows.
I think they
Keep
might
Jessica
get rid of
Jones.
Jessica. So I don't know. But again, with Iron Fist and Luke Cage, you're losing 2 shows, but you can bring forth 2 shows.
yeah,
Daughters of the Dragon and Heroes for Hire.
which would be
awesome.
Yeah.
Like you can't like how would you
Yeah.
like I don't get it. Like that would be the smartest move they can do.
Yeah.
Daughters of the Dragon might be a little rough. Not a lot of people again unless
Know
you're
about it.
yeah unless you read the
I
Luke
never knew
Cage
about
Iron
it.
Fist comics. Yeah, you wouldn't know that they had Colleen and Misty had their own team. Technically, Colleen and Misty were also heroes for hire is a very broad general term, but it's just like yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. That's crazy. Wow, Luke Cage got canceled.
yeah.
I guess
Speaking-
he wasn't that bulletproof.
Oh, because he got shot down
Guess he
by
won't
the
be.
studio.
I guess he won't be coming back from that one.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god, he lost his sponsorships? What?
I guess he won't be able to buy any more fedoras.
Jess, I love you, and I'm gonna let you finish. But your season 2 was the most trash season 2 in
It
existence.
really
season
was.
Season 2 was only really disappointing because when they were like, "Oh yeah, some monster in the lab," and then you find out who the monster is, and you're just like, "That's very disappointing." I wanted it to be a legit monster, like some crazy experiment thing.
An actual
And
threat.
Yeah, an actual threat, and it wasn't.
This is an emotional.
Yeah, just an emotional person who's just
Glad
rampaging
I never watched it.
through the streets.
Season 1 is great. Season 2.
Richard
bad.
says shots fired.
Reload because I'm not
Have
done.
any y'all have any y'all seen that show that Amazon put out called The Boys or something like that? It's a
The
super.
Boys, yeah.
Is it? I think it's called The Boys, right?
Yeah.
Have you
Back
seen
in
that yet?
I just saw it. I just
Blues
did-
are back in sound. I know it's hard not to sing that.
Boys back down.
Have you
I
seen
was
it?
in
No, I
Full
haven't
House.
seen that. No.
I've been wanting to watch it, but
I've only seen a teaser, like a photo.
yeah.
Poster, and it looks okay. I'm not familiar with the source material though. Like,
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think it's like
I don't-
like necessarily like any comics that are out there or anything. It's just something.
I think it is.
Is it The
I think so.
Boys?
Yeah.
But Nathan, what are the shots bouncing off of? Luke Cage is dead. Nah, his powers might still work even in death. It's his body, really. That's yeah. All right, I'll give you that.
Shoot his dead body, guys.
Shoot his dead body.
Multiple times. Ha! Deadpool 2.
Dead man comes in. I know I'm DC, but I'm better.
Yo, it's just I don't know. We'll see. Netflix has to have a plan, but at the end of the day, do they really need a plan?
What?
It's a comic book series.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
it's
Okay.
indie. Because
Oh,
the
interesting,
moment
okay.
you said boys, I was just like, eh.
What is it? A Nazi
Sounds
like
familiar
Flyers? Are they
something.
fighting Nazis?
Oh, it's Garth Ennis.
I'm fucking down, son. Not because of Nazis, but I'm sitting down like, whoa.
Yeah, it's Garth Ennis.
I did not see that.
No, I'm down. Like I dig when they have superheroes go against like it's back in the day and fight Nazi Germany and stuff. It's cool.
Who's the publisher?
Is it Dark Horse or?
No, it's probably Wildstorm. It looks like a Wildstorm thing.
Wildstorm.
Yeah, Pushmo.
It looks cool. I mean,
Dynamite.
Entertainment. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen this. I've seen that before. I've never read it,
It
but
doesn't
I've
look
seen
bad.
the comic.
Like in the chick that's talking like during the whole thing. Did you guys ever see as a kid Adventures of Babysitting, the movie?
Yeah.
The girl Nat is in this show or movie, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Ramos says, what if they replace Iron Fist and Luke Cage with Moon Knight and Blade?
I'm
I
down.
mean,
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
Give it a
it'd be
shot.
cool to see those characters, but like, how would you, like?
I don't know with like Blade. Blade could be an awesome Netflix series.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You don't have to introduce Blade, but let's be like real quick. Let's be really realistic. When you're taking off Iron Fist and Luke Cage, you want to bring like Moon Knight and Blade. You have to start from the beginning. They each at least would have to have. Blade might not have to have a TV show, but Moon Knight would have to have something. He'd have to be introduced in something. Due to that, you get people like him, sure enough, and then later on during the years, then all of a sudden you can get them to mash up and whatnot. But like, it's just Moon Knight and Blade together. I mean, they both basically do the same job technically.
Were they in a comic together at one point?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. I never really
But I mean,
read those.
those two characters together would be awesome. But I just don't know how you would go about doing that.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, I'll tell you, like this Magic Order book that I've been talking about on the. I hope Netflix takes that and makes it a show, like what they could do from what the.
Yeah, they are making Magic Order.
Are they making it? Because I wasn't sure if they were or not.
It's on the back of the first
I know it says
issue.
Netflix.
Yeah,
There's
it's coming soon to Netflix or something on it. On the
It
back.
just says Netflix.
It just says
because
Netflix,
is
so-
getting into the comic book.
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
But it's not.
Well,
a show.
Netflix.
Think of Harry Potter with gangsters, dude. It's freaking cool.
They are. No, Ramos, you're right. They are Marvel Knights alongside Punisher and Ghost Rider. Yeah, and you wouldn't have to introduce Punisher or Ghost Rider. People know who those are. People know who Blade. People our age know who Blade is. I mean, the Blade movies are on Netflix, but I mean, we know who Blade is.
Blade would be an easier character to do a Netflix show than like some of the other obscure characters that you would for Marvel. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah. If you're talking like like your
So-
lower class heroes,
To have
Blade
it
is
continue
someone
on,
who could-
like
yeah. People will watch Blade if you got a good actor.
a lot of
for
people
it.
don't know who Moon Knight is
Yeah.
unless you're a comic book person.
Yeah.
Blade, people will know Blade because they've seen.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've
the
seen the
movies or
Blade movies. Yeah.
yeah, the cartoons.
I don't know, like maybe some other Marvel characters they could do.
I could see Moon Knight popping up in Punisher, but I mean Punisher's gonna get a little cheesy though.
Yeah.
Punisher's definitely sits along the realm of like realism, and if you start throwing in Moon Knight,
That's why I
that's
think-
when you're gonna start
yeah.
losing that.
But that's why I think Punisher could be thrown into any of these shows just as a anti-hero, and they're trying to stop him for certain things. Because in the book, that's what's going on. Like the last book, he got in a tangle with Heroes for Hire, and he cheated to get out of it, which was I like that what he did. But and then he runs into Daredevil.
Well, they're doing
So-
Magic Order should be. I don't know. I haven't heard anything new about that yet, but they're supposed to be doing that.
Well, because there's only 6 books.
Yeah.
It's a mini-series, but
Yeah. And then they own oh my God, what's his name? Yeah, Netflix owns the Millerverse.
Yeah.
So if
Oh, really?
Netflix
Frank
doesn't no, not Frank Miller, other Miller. Mark Miller, yeah.
oh yeah, the guy that's doing the Magic Order. Isn't he?
So they have.
Yeah.
They have.
So
like
because
Kick-Ass.
because they own the
is he
Millerverse.
he's
yeah,
part of Kick-Ass?
He created Kick-Ass, he created Wanted with Curving the Bullet. He did
I like that
Kick-Ass,
movie,
Wanted,
dude.
Kingsman?
he did Kingsman, he did Red Sun, like the Red Sun storyline with Superman, the Russian Superman, all that stuff. Yeah, like
Which I still gotta read.
he did a few
I missed that
he did
statue.
DC stuff. He did more like that man. They own the Millerverse and they have not done anything with it.
Why didn't you take that?
God.
Why didn't you take those 3 statues from Hudson's? Superman, Batman,
Oh,
and Wonder
I
Woman.
sold them before I left.
You sold them?
Yeah.
How much?
However much they were retailed for.
Really? Someone went in and bought?
Yeah.
Wow. I
Back
want
in
that
July, Netflix announced that they're going to start working on series and movies based on Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. I could see that.
Okay, a Netflix Kick-Ass
That'd be
TV series
cool,
would be
dude.
amazing.
Right?
Like, I really want to see Kick-Ass, Wanted, and and
I really liked
and Kingsman.
I really liked
But
Wanted, man.
Kingsman
Like a lot of people
won't happen
like
until later.
talk shit about that movie. That movie, I dug
It was
a
slick.
lot. I liked it.
Kingsman?
No, Wanted.
Oh, Wanted was good.
Curving that bullet.
Yeah,
It was a cool movie, you know.
Slick as hook.
Yeah, Wanted was cool. Kingsman probably won't happen for a while because the movies are still hot and popping.
They're still making a third one.
Yeah,
For what?
this time,
Kingsman.
yeah,
Oh yeah. I like the
Tatum.
second one. It was alright.
Tatum's gonna be over in England because at the end of the second one, Channing Tatum's character is at the
Yeah.
London Kingsman.
And Holly Berry becomes.
Yeah, she
Spoilers.
gets she gets promoted. Oh no, that if you haven't seen Kingsman, that's an issue. 'Cause
It's
that
been
movie's
out a
for
while,
like
yeah.
that movie's been out for a while.
Kingsman 2, we're talking about.
But
Yeah.
Link says I've seen Kick-Ass before. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The first Kick-Ass was really good. The second one
was okay.
The second one.
The first one was bad. I mean, total badass.
The second one had really good. It was good to see the character development between Hit Girl and Kick-Ass, but like everybody else, and then the rest of the plot of the story.
The motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not.
His mom's old
I'm
gifts.
the
Yeah,
motherfucker.
it just wasn't good.
That chick that played Hit Girl, it was cool to see how she grew up and now.
Yeah,
she's-
Chloe Martin.
Dude, she's beautiful. That
Grace
chick is
Moritz.
beautiful.
Oh, that way.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm saying from young to like becoming this beautiful woman now she is now. Like
Yeah.
she's
But she couldn't play Hit Girl anymore.
no, but she could
Yeah,
play.
really?
Why
Why
not?
Well, because they're gonna want to when they do the Netflix stuff, they're gonna want to go back and make her a little girl.
Why not?
Yeah, but have you seen her?
Well, yeah, but she's very like she's
Why not
still
make her like
adult.
Why not have her go into
Yeah,
like
but-
Marvel or DC or something and be a character? I could see her being one of those characters.
But have you seen her? Like she still looks like a kid.
I mean, not in a good way.
Yeah, but she's still like she like still.
Not in a good way.
Sup, Ryan? Ryan's on.
What's up, man?
Like she still looks like a kid though. Like she.
Yeah, take it
I don't
back,
know how
Seth.
old, I don't know how old she is, but she like still looks like a child in the face. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they could get away with it if she was to reprise her role.
maybe.
And I don't feel like she's gotten any taller, so I'm just saying. I think she'd be fine.
Speaking of new shows, this is the last topic that I had like saved.
Okay.
CW apparently is working on a Superman spin-off show starring the guy who plays Superman and Supergirl. Boo.
Metropolis.
Boo.
You wouldn't give it a shot?
I haven't seen him in action. I've only
Tyler-
seen photos.
Tyler Hoechlin, however you pronounce his name.
I've been saying Hoechlin.
Hoechlin,
I don't know how you say it.
They were I was telling Zach that they were showing Hero Gateway was showing like I guess it was on Supergirl, right? I'm guessing.
Where he's like flying around and he has like blue.
He's shooting
lasers.
drones with blue laser eyes. I'm like, what did he have blue lasers?
Exactly. Boo.
Yeah, I'm like,
Exactly. No, he actually does. It's not hard to play Clark Kent, but he actually does. Because at that time when he first got introduced as Superman, I was watching Supergirl.
Mhm.
And he actually does do a good Clark Kent. And his Superman's not bad either. But
I just don't see.
it's those seatbelt
Cape.
that seatbelt case
Buckle
attachment
in.
buckle thing.
You're going for a hell of a ride.
I just don't
Yeah,
see. I don't see Superman when I look at him. I see a guy dressed up as Superman,
Like
in
a
Spirit
cosplayer.
Halloween ad. Like
You too can look like Superman.
like when you look at Henry Cavill, right? I know it's comparing apples to oranges, but when you look at Henry Cavill, he looks like Superman when he
In the
stands there. He has
face.
a grace
In
to
the
him.
face. And,
Yeah.
Like,
But with
He's
him, he
like-
looks like he just came off the set of like.
well, Henry Cavill, it's almost like they chiseled him out of stone,
Teen
like
Wolf.
the way his face is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't look like. He looks like he would be a supporting character,
And
not
Superman.
Superman.
Well,
Yeah.
again, who does this? CW? Who's doing it? Who's doing this fucking show?
What do you mean?
The Superman and Supergirl show. This is
Those
CW
are
now?
all, yeah, that's all
CW.
Greg Oh, actually, I don't know
Berlanti.
if Greg Berlanti, does he do the Supergirl?
He does all the CW stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got his hands in everything.
So
I don't know.
yeah, again
I don't know if I
with this Elseworld stuff.
But his shows are hit or miss.
The other thing I kind of want to watch is just to see what it looks like is the Batwoman that they're doing.
the crossover.
To see what happens with that. But other than that,
That's all part of Elseworlds, man. To see Batgirl, to see Batwoman, you have to see
Elseworld.
Arrow dressed as the Flash, and vice versa.
He looks better in the suit, so I'm just saying. Stephen Amell looks better.
He fills out the suit.
He looks
more.
better in the Flash suit.
He's got muscles for it.
And I'm curious to see how small
Grant
Gustin's gonna look in the Arrow suit. Dude.
I mean, Grant
Like,
Gustin's great, but he's
man.
not that. He's not
again,
That dude's about to be he's a skinny guy. And he's gonna just look like he's gonna be the slim green beans. He's about to be green beans.
I just feel like with the Flash show, Flash is supposed to be the hero. He's not supposed to have maybe have Kid Flash, right, or Wally West or whoever, right?
You don't like the team?
I don't like when they start adding, oh, this person has super speed. You know what? Oh, I found another girl. She has super speed.
Oh yeah, but that's I mean they fixed that now though. The first
Did they?
Yeah, the first 2-3 seasons where you had speedster villains. Yeah, but they don't have speedster villains now. They fixed that. They completely fixed it. Last season they didn't have a speedster villain. This season they don't have a.
They had a
speedster.
slowster villain.
They had the thinker.
Oh boy.
Which I guess technically, if you want to consider how
I know where you'll be, Barry.
I guess if you want to consider how fast his mind goes,
Barry, tell me what
speedster too. Mentally.
My mind is faster than you, Barry.
He's too quick with his thoughts.
Yeah, Barry. I still don't like the fact that Barry's so. He's not there yet for me. He's not.
He's never gonna be there.
He still looks like he's in training or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. They could easily fix him in one episode, but I don't like how
when they kill him off.
Dude,
I'm done with I'm done with wrestling. I'm done with the CW.
I'm done with superheroes. I'm done with this.
I can't think of it's the CW superhero shows. Done.
I watched the first episode of Flash. I watched the first episode of Arrow.
Batman in jail.
Whoa.
Bruce Wayne locked up.
The first episode of.
You mean Batman Begins?
The first episode of Arrow was okay.
Yeah, see, you're saying, it's your reaction. It's just okay.
Oh yeah, but that's me. That's just how I talk about things. I don't really.
I saw the afterlife in heaven.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I died once. It was okay.
I won $1 million. It was alright.
It's
I won. Dude, did you guys see the Mega Million? It's up to $1 billion.
Watch it go to some.
$1 billion.
Well, isn't that tonight? Isn't tonight the drawing for the Mega Million?
Dude, Publix has a waiting queue line for lottery tickets. Yeah,
Wow.
I stopped there to get some energy drinks, and they have a queue line. That's line starts here, and it's waiting for a ride.
Mega Million draws on Friday night, so we'd have to search it up, but I didn't imagine.
I'll never forget the one time I saw somebody won. This one girl, she was 18, and she won the lottery, and they were like, "What are you gonna get? What are you gonna do with all this money?" And she's like, "I don't know. I'll probably buy some clothes." It's the worst.
I'm gonna get a mountain of cocaine.
I mean, that's better than what majority of people do with their money.
I'll buy some clothes, lots of clothes.
That's fair.
Buy a new phone.
I want a guy to be on there dude, I'm totally gonna buy a giant bag of marijuana.
Did you ever see that interview? This woman, she was like, "What are you gonna do with it if you win?" He's like, "Hookers and cocaine." She's like, "Okay, that's the kind of
Maybe he's being truthful.
By the way, Greg Valante's got his hands in a lot of jars. So he's the executive producer of Batwoman, Doom Patrol, the upcoming Stargirl show for DC Universe, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Booster Gold.
Yeah.
Booster
let's
Gold?
see.
Yeah.
Riverdale.
Like a Booster Gold show, or you mean comic?
No, he's gonna do the show.
A Booster Gold show?
Yeah, something like that. There was something.
On the CW?
They were talking about something about it, but I don't. that hasn't been like, I don't even think that's been super confirmed yet.
All right,
My dog's just putting his name on
Would you-
things.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, it's just there.
Well, first of all, would you guys watch a Booster Gold show?
I would watch a Booster Gold anything.
I would too.
I
John,
just want to see him like.
Mhm.
I just want to see.
would you watch a Booster Gold show? Or you're not? Didn't you say something about you have problems with Booster Gold or something?
I mean, I like Rip Hunter, his son.
Is that his son? I didn't know Booster
Yeah,
Gold's son was
that's his
Rip
child.
Hunter.
Yeah,
Get the fuck
I like
outta
Rip
here.
Hunter in the comics. In Legends, he's alright, but I like him in the comics.
I never knew that. You just blew my mind.
Fresh off the set of Doctor
Booster Gold, I don't like.
I don't like how he got his power.
It's no, I mean it's just a suit. It's a
Yeah, he
suit.
stole everything.
Yeah. He's just a really like I don't know. I don't really have any feelings towards him. But I mean I'd still watch it though, especially if it was like a Booster Gold Blue Beetle series for sure.
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
watch
sure,
it.
yeah.
Hands
That'd be
down.
cool too. Yeah, Blue Beetle.
Ryan says Doom Patrol more like Derp Patrol.
Derp Patrol.
Dirt
I mean,
Patrol.
they are kind of like a lesser.
Have you guys?
X-Men.
Did you guys get the
No.
DC thing?
Not yet.
Oh yeah. Everybody told. I think the first episode of Titans is already out. Or
The
something
second one
like that?
now. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Second
And
one's out
like I
I
was
said it's good.
told it was
he
good.
was saying
yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's
Certified fresh.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, and it's got
Splatty tomato.
good ratings. We've got like 1 or maybe 2 splats, and then the rest of them are fresh, nice ass tomatoes.
nice ass ripe.
Nice ass ripe tomatoes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited for Doom. I want to say Dirt Patrol now.
Derp.
I'm excited for Dirt Patrol.
You
But
think?
I just want to know how weird they're gonna make it, because in order to do Doom Patrol correctly, like the way that people love the original, like
Yeah, because it's weird.
Doom Patrol,
It's
they'd
so
have to
far
do it
apart.
like almost like Legion.
Yeah, they would have to. That's
Yeah.
the only way that show would survive.
But if they film it like they do Titans or Riverdale,
it's not. I don't think it's gonna.
it's
do
not. It's not gonna come off the way that people
I'm
want
down
it to.
for it. Like to
Because
check it out.
Is awesome.
Legion is great.
You
Like,
think-
just like even just like the soundtrack and editing and the way everything flows together.
Yeah.
You think at one point, Mr. Robot Man will like have a box of Cheez-Its?
Mr. Robot Man.
But
He'll eat Cheez-Its.
Inside jokes for days.
yeah. I mean, who knows? We'll have to. We'll really have to see about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, especially since Cyborg is going to be in it. I want to know how they're going to do his stuff. Like, is it going to be CG? Is it going to be live action, like costuming, like a special effects? Like, how are they going to make Cyborg in this? Because in the Justice League movie, it was all CG.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
We know.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll do
But-
like parts.
but in the
Maybe
series,
maybe in the series they'll actually make them look like.
TV shows normally have to go more with the whole costume / CGI thing.
Yeah.
but I don't
because
want them to
they
go
don't
back to
have
what
the-
Smallville did.
They don't have the money.
Which
Well,
is like the
Smallville,
silver
he just
hoodie.
wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, Smallville, he wasn't there though.
Yeah.
And he also his character really had an issue about looking more human though as well. So Cyborg wasn't really. Yeah, in Smallville. But I mean, rest in peace.
Speaking of rest in peace.
Well, not Smallville, the actor. The guy who played Cyborg.
Oh yeah, killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Jed Jackson.
Action, out of action.
I thought you were gonna say rest in peace, Cyborg.
No, I would never say that. I hate Cyborg.
Rest in pain, Cyborg. By the way, Evil Dead is my favorite horror movie.
At
Just
all,
saying.
like the original or the
Yeah.
new one?
Both. They're tied.
Well, you
I
have
like
that
them both for
one.
different reasons.
Link says, "Hey, curious question. Why no stuff on the table anymore?"
It's just more simple just to have us here, because I feel like it's a little distracting with them in the foreground, you know. And like we would have Batman right here in the center. It would just like block John, you know. So
How's that, Link?
you like the extra addition to his face. But yeah. So
Link. Also, I can't remember his name, but it's over. He was the what's his name? The famous Jed Jackson or whatever from the Disney show.
yeah.
Jen Jackson.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I thought you
He was
were
basically a black live action Kim Possible
Basically, yeah.
/ Agent Cody
I thought you were
Banks
talking
type
about like
thing.
someone from the Jackson 5 or something.
No. It was like Silver something Jet Jackson or something. I don't remember.
Silver
what it was
Streak?
called.
The famous Jet Jackson.
Yeah, the famous Jet Jackson. And
starring Lee Thompson Young.
Lee Thompson.
Jack Jackson.
In that show.
Yeah, this show was awesome. It was a good show.
Was it his grandma or his aunt that he lived with?
I think he lived with his aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. Little Aunt May type moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed that show. That was good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It only had 3 seasons. Holy shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
more seasons than Luke Cage and
It's too soon. It's too soon. By the way, the thing's great. I have not seen the new one. The Thing, yeah.
Oh,
Ryan
yeah,
Egler.
with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, 1982's The Thing is
Yeah,
Ryan
good
Egler's favorite
stuff.
horror movie.
Oh, good stuff. That was a good one.
What are your guys' favorite horror movies, by the way? I wanted to ask you that earlier.
I don't have favorites.
If there's one horror movie that you have to watch for Halloween, what would it be?
Have to watch
Yeah.
for Halloween?
If there's no Halloween is complete without this one movie, you had to watch a movie, it would be your favorite horror movie.
God,
I don't know.
got so many.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Right? That's why I always have a favorite, so whenever somebody asks me, I can just.
It would, again, my favorite, I get, like, my favorite horror, like, I told you guys, my favorite horror stuff would have to be the Jason movies. Like, I can't really, I don't see my, like, I rewatch, like, I'm a huge Jason fan, and I rewatch those movies, like, constantly. Like, both me and my roommate, like, we're huge into slasher films, and we both think that the Jason films were probably, like, I guess it'd be safe to say, like, I'll say one of the best slasher films for sure.
Like the epitome of slasher film.
Yeah, like a classic, cult classic, like, slasher film.
Yeah.
And it's more like, cause like whenever I watch like a horror film or something like that, I always kind of like put it in my mind like, yo, if this guy was chasing me, like how would I handle the situation? And out of all of those people, Jason is the issue I would have. Like between,
all he does is
like,
walk. You could full sprint, but somehow he gets
yeah,
there
but
right
he,
before
exactly.
He low-key
What is
sprints
this
when
man?
nobody-
Yeah, what is this man? The camera would be on
He's
me,
on a
and
Segway
the next
or
thing you know,
something.
he has to be in the woods, just all-terrain wheels, just like
Great.
zooming, like
Does
this,
he just show up on a
zooming in
hoverboard, just
from,
kinda
dude,
like?
because there's no
On a
like
hoverboard, Back to the
Jason.
Future style?
Jason always just.
I'll get you.
Jason was always just
That'd
an
be amazing.
issue. The rest of the people you can kill, or like Chucky, Freddy. Like there's different ways to take care of him. Jason's the issue because because if you're following the lore, the only way you can kill Jason is by like what movie was it, the 4th or 5th movie? You had to have the blood of like a family member or something like that. Like Jason's an issue. Like that's a problem that I would have. The rest of them, Freddy doesn't want this. Like he doesn't want to. Freddy doesn't want that.
Mine would have to be. I have two. It's hard to pick from, but Exorcist, the original Exorcist,
Okay.
or House on Haunted Hill.
Okay.
The
The newer one.
The Netflix one?
Yeah, not the Netflix one. The newer House on Haunted Hill, like the
one from
movie.
like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, with oh my God, what's his name? Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Rush. What's his name?
From R.I.P.D.
The one that had it had Marilyn Manson in the soundtrack and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
It had Alan
Oh,
Adventure
Pirates of
at
the
the very
Caribbean.
beginning. Yeah, he was the one that invited.
Had all
her to the
like
house.
the effects were like when they were looking at the person, his head's like really fast. You couldn't see their face. The Exorcist though is like to me like we just saw something earlier about The Exorcist, and I was telling them I was like how crazy it was when they put it out. They put this part in The Exorcist where a flash it just flashes at certain points and you see a face. Well, I never saw that in the original one at all. Like I never caught it. And I rewatched it, and when I saw this, I was telling Zach, it freaked me out. I'm like, wait, did I just see something? I had to rewind it back like frame per frame to find it, and it finally popped up. I'm like, holy shit, I never saw that the entire time because it's like really fast. Like you have to pay attention. And just her doing the whole crab walk down the stairs, it was a creepy movie. Like
That's one thing I love about movies, like horror movies. I love psychological ones, and I feel like that's something that we're missing in a lot of movies these days.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because like with The Conjuring and Insidious stuff like that, a lot of times you'll have like a scare where like you see the person, you see like the ghost in the distance, and then they speed up and they lunge at you or whatever, but then the person lives. The person like it's just a scare, and it's like
Yeah.
I tried to tell you last
It's-
Friday,
it's-
man. Yo,
it like
they're not doing it.
it shows weakness in the creatures, so to speak, because like they're just like there to like scare you, I guess. But like, had this been like an '80s movie, like an '80s horror movie, like Jason, that lunge would have been their last.
Yeah.
Like
Last thing they saw.
Which
Yeah.
we're
You know,
hearing.
Jason on a set.
Zach-
Just kind of like
Zach heard some good things about the new Halloween movie.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
I mean, speaking of movies, real quick though, November 2nd, Bohemian Rhapsody, boy.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
looks good,
God.
dude. I'm down.
Yo,
I'm down to
I'm a
see that.
huge fan.
Me
of
too.
Mr. Robot, great show.
Oh,
Huge fan of the man. And like when they told me they was gonna do when I found out he was doing Queen, I was like, yo, he looks like the man. Because when you take the time to look at him, you see the jaw structure, like the way his face is set. He kind of looks like Freddie Mercury. So
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah,
very
Queen,
interested to see this
as a
movie.
kid, Queen was like
'Cause he's
one
awesome.
of my bands. Yeah, and a lot of people when they go, when say like a band or a guy goes to sing like a Queen song,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, it sounds just like him. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, you
I
can't. You can't
I
imitate
said
Freddie
no one
Mercury.
can ever imitate. Maybe there might be a couple that can get close, like Adam Lambert.
Yep.
He's
Adam
the closest
Lambert, he's
guy
the
I've only
closest.
seen that's got that close to his voice.
Yeah.
But no one could hit the keys that he would hit when he would sing. I've never seen anybody do it. I don't care
Well,
what
I
anybody says.
I wouldn't say
Oh,
that.
I do.
I
do. I'll straight up-
I wouldn't
I'll straight
say
up
no.
scream in their face. I
I
don't
wouldn't
care.
say that a person can't hit the keys, but it's something about his voice. So
The way he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
presentation of those notes that just sets him apart from other people.
That motherfucker did the Highlander, bro. Like he's the Highlander. Come on, bro. That makes me want to go watch the Highlander.
It's
I heard something about Rami Malek had when he was trying to get the part and everything. They wanted to make sure that he could actually sing like him, and so he had
Yeah,
to
the
record some
band,
stuff, and they had to he had to sit there with the band and listen to his singing
Yeah.
with the band.
Yeah, the intense had to have been intense,
Yeah.
bro.
That's a high bar to live
Yeah,
up to.
it is. Because the whole film, apparently from what I heard, the production of the film was great. Everything happened. The band was there the whole time to make sure the story was accurate,
Yeah.
it was correct. Like the band gave so much input, and like one of the trailers is the part that I saw. Like one of the clips was like when they're doing the Galileo part for Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's
He's
over
like,
and
he's
over.
like, yeah, he did Haya. He's just like, yeah, he doesn't get. He's like Haya, and then he's just, and he's like, yo, Haya, how many times do you want me? Haya, and then he just keeps doing it. I'm just like, yo, and sitting back, I'm just like, you would have to think, watching the interviews and stuff with Freddie Mercury, you would have to think the man pushed everybody hard.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he wants and he needed it.
Now,
Like,
did you like
oh,
Freddie
man.
Mercury with a mustache or no mustache? I'm gonna go mustache.
It made no difference to me.
Mustache was iconic.
Yeah.
Like that mustache. You
Mustache.
could do a silhouette of his face with
Yellow.
the mustache. You know exactly what it is.
Yeah, mustache, yellow
And
tank top,
he looks
red wristbands.
and he
white
looks
pants.
totally different without the mustache. I mean, totally different. He looks,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan says, if you're looking for an obscure horror film with a splash of humor thrown in, I recommend Black Sheep, Zombie Ass Toilet.
What?
Okay, so Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead is exactly what it sounds like. It's an Asian movie about like zombies crawling out of the toilet while you're taking a shit.
Oh my god.
And they get you, and there's a whole scene of this girl that's like having like the shits, and she's like in this outhouse.
And they eat her from her asshole.
And then
up.
you see, and then she like feels something, and like there's like this zombie like trying to like pull her down into the toilet and stuff. The whole movie ends with like a Super Saiyan fight with tentacles in the air and shit.
Super Saiyan fight.
Yeah, it was weird. It was fucking weird.
With tentacles.
Yeah,
in the air.
it was like a tentacle beast
so-
zombie monster.
I
And
feel
like
like
they had
that's-
like this flying fight in
Yeah.
the air. It was.
I feel like that's something you would see on Mystery Science Theater. You know, like 3000.
I would have loved
Oh my
to
God.
get some like to get like a riff track to that. That'd be amazing.
There's Mystery Science Theater's coming here supposedly. I forget what date. Sometime in October here.
That's cool.
It might be this weekend. So the new Mystery Science Theater guy
Oh,
and the original I think is coming as well.
okay.
So
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That would.
So,
That would.
I've never seen Black Sheep though.
Jason would have to be it for me though.
Jason.
Like those are probably my favorite. One of my favorite horror films. I don't have a favorite. There's just too many movies. Like I can't just nail one.
Now here's a fun
But
one.
I watch Jason a lot.
Here's a fun one. What's a movie that you guys think is like? What's a horror movie that you guys think is overrated?
Overrated?
Overrated. Yeah, like everybody seems to think is terrifying, and you're just like enough. Like I'm done.
Oh, when the first Paranormal Activity came out. Yo, I kind of just looked at people and I was just like, son, stop that. It's a ghost. Like, what are we talking about here?
It's just a
Toby. It's
Yeah.
just Toby, bro.
See, I had no respect for Toby till the third one when Toby was flinging around those kids and I was just like, oh my God, okay. Toby's a thug. Like, you know,
Toby's a thug.
yo, hey, like I said,
Get
I
that on a shirt.
respect people.
Toby's a thug. I like
Nah, because people might be like, oh, what are you talking Toby Maguire? And I'll be like, nah, not
Nah,
that
bro.
Toby.
it. Well, no, that Toby Maguire's going on a Martin shirt where it's saying Toby.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so bad.
Okay, so Paranormal Activity.
It would, yeah. Wait, what's the question again? One more time.
What horror movie or franchise do you think is overrated?
Overrated.
Like everybody seems to think is terrifying, and you think it like you're just like stop.
Yeah, I'd have to say like just the Paranormal Activity movies. Those like when those first started pumping out, like people were just like, oh my God, and then
The first one freaked me out. The second one had moments, and then the rest of them just went down.
yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say.
But yet still supposedly one of the best like ghost, movies or whatever. And I'm just like, I'll give it, because it's based on a true story, I can give it a few points off of that. But outside of that, no, I don't.
I would say either Scream or Saw.
True.
Scream 1 and 2 were great. After that, was there a third one?
Yeah, I think there was four.
Yeah, after that it was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, wasn't Courtney Cox in like the third or fourth one?
This might have been an all, who knows? But anyways,
Yeah.
that one is just like once after the second one, you shouldn't even made another one.
I think Scary Movie kind of ruined it too.
Yeah, Scary
Like-
Movie definitely ruined the Scream
But-
Scream series.
Saw, like I said, Saw 1 and Saw 4 are probably the best Saw movies, and after that you don't have to watch anything else. For a psychological
Yeah.
murder mystery horror movie, slasher type movie.
I think I'm like compiling a list in my head.
Lake Placid.
I would have to say like,
I'll never forget. I was in the theater for
yeah,
like
Ryan says it. He
What?
says before that the original one. Ryan? Are you saying it was overrated for you, or just to make
He
sure?
said the thing terrified me. Before that was it. The original.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that kind of
Dude,
just
it's
got,
fine.
the ones that kind of got overrated, I think were kind of like,
I gotta watch Ghostbusters now.
Paranormal Activity, Gothica, The Hills Have Eyes. Those just like a lot of those came out and people were just like I like The Ring. Like I
The
do
first
like
one.
I do like the Ring movies, but like they
The first
just,
one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I found it good in all of them.
Ryan, or Zach, I was about to call you Ryan. I'm like Ryan. Zach, the
What can I do for you, Zach?
what was that movie with the Tooth Fairy? The scary
Darkness Falls.
Darkness Falls.
Dude,
With
that
the kid.
bro.
The kid trying to stay out of the dark, and then they put him in the
No.
MRI machine, and then the thing started. Is that the one we're talking about right now?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I think so. It's been a while since
I
I did.
think no, yeah.
No, that movie was
Darkness Falls?
creepy. That movie was.
That's the
fucking
one
creepy
with
as
the kid,
hell.
right?
It was basically about like this old lady that collected teeth from little kids or something. Like she was the tooth, necessarily the
It
tooth
was just
fairy.
like a horror version of Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, dude, it was cool. Like I like that movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then they're at a hospital, and then they were doing it, and then they went to like some lighthouse. Lighthouse. Yeah, that's the one. That's the
That movie's fucked.
That kid. I remember. I don't even.
Yeah, and like fucked up the one.
Where did
kid
I
really
watch?
bad.
Where did I watch that? I watched it at a friend's house, and during high school, it was the first time I saw it.
So is that a good response from you?
I thought it was a pretty good
Yeah,
movie.
I like
I
that
only
movie.
saw it. I think I only saw it once or twice.
And I
but
think
it
to
was
stop her,
pretty
they
good.
had to like burn the house or some shit.
Yeah, they had to
right?
burn. Yeah, but she was like, "Yo, that was a resilient. That was a resilient."
And she had like the porcelain type mask.
Yeah, like the messed up.
made out of teeth or
Oof.
whatever, bro.
Because wasn't it like if you saw her face, she'd have to come after you or something like that, or
I think so. Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
something like that.
You know what? I just realized. I just remembered recently that I feel kind of like fell under the radar for a long time. You guys remember a movie called Stir of Echoes?
Yeah, I like that movie.
That movie scared the shit out of me.
The
as a
first one
kid.
was great. Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, okay, that's all you had to say. Kevin
the first
Bacon.
one. Well, the first one had
meditation
Kevin Bacon.
scenes.
They had a second one, but yeah, the first one, and they had the song from
Danger Zone.
oh my god, no, Mick Jagger, Rolling Stones. There's a song when he's doing like
Painted Black.
yeah, Paint It Black.
Yeah. So freaky as shit.
Every time I hear that song, I think of that movie.
God, I think it's just go to black.
Every time I hear
Ryan
it.
says 2006 Chainsaw remake disturbed me when I was in high school. As I told you guys before, The Ring laughed out loud.
You want
Yeah,
to see?
Link did say The Ring was overrated.
You want to see a fucked up
Remember Gotham
Chainsaw
Girl?
Massacre? Go watch Chainsaw Massacre 2.
It tried
Where
to
they're sucking on
be a
fingers and
great
shit.
horror film. Yeah, I don't know. There was just a lot of.
I'll tell you guys. All right,
I'll
if
watch
any of y'all
it.
have Amazon, I think it's on Amazon. Go watch Jacob's Ladder.
Hey, you talked about that last.
Go watch that movie. It's really cool. Like my brother, when I was I don't know, maybe 13, 14, I went to go visit my brother in California, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta watch this movie." I said, "Okay." And I just went into it like I had no idea what it was about. He's just like, it's just a psychological thriller type movie. This guy's in Vietnam.
Ryan says, "Is it a porno?"
No, he said this guy's in this guy's in Vietnam, and that's all I'm gonna tell you guys.
Okay.
And it goes from there. I suggest you watch it. It's really cool. It's the guy that was in. I want to say it's Tim Robbins is the actor.
Oh, okay.
I think that's who it is. I can't remember. But
Did you
the ending's fucked up.
Did you guys see Daredevil yet? Like, did you even watch it?
No, I'm watching
No,
it
yeah,
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zach's gonna be on Zombie Island.
Yeah.
Or
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
secret name Peanut Island.
House of the Dead.
Yeah, right. Which that was.
Zombie Island. Every time I hear that, that always reminds me of one of like my favorite Scooby-Doo movies was Scooby-Doo.
That's what he said.
That's actually that's like one of my all-time favorite Scooby-Doo movies. Actually, like I can give a favorite for that. It is Scooby-Doo.
It is my favorite.
That was by far the best one. Like
You didn't like the wrestling ones, bro?
the wrestling.
They had a bunch of Scooby-Doo wrestling ones.
Yeah, they might have. There was also like Cyber Chase. Like I'm talking about like the classic
Yeah,
ones,
the
like
old school.
Yeah, the old school ones, and Zombie Island was by far the best one. Like I remember watching that as a kid, and I was just, those zombies coming up, and I was just like, "Yo,
The scene where
they're gonna get you." Like you guys lost.
The scene where Fred's trying to take it off. He's like, "It's a really convincing mask."
Yeah,
It's like.
and I'm just like,
It's real.
Fred, stop. Like go and run.
Any disturbing movies that like kind of like got to you, like sounds in the
Ryan
movie,
said Fair was the one
from
for
horror
Bearcats.
movies,
The sound?
like a sound or like a disturbing image or mine's I want to say Day of the Dead, or is it Day of the Dead? The newer one, Day of the Living Dead, where they're in the mall. Is that the one?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
That was Zack Snyder's first.
The newer one.
Yeah.
Where they get out of the mall, they escape, they get on the boat, they escape their whatever, and then it goes like the movie goes to black, and you can just hear like So anytime I hear anything like that, it creeps me out, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, I
just the
can't say.
sound, I'm like, ugh.
I can't say I have anything like that.
What was the question? It was the
Like, is there any?
Yeah, like any
creepy
movies that
noises
kind of
or-
like watching a horror movie and like that image just or sounds or like disturbed you. Like that disturbed me, and then also House on Haunted Hill with the whole like, because I watched that when I was like younger, by myself in the dark, and just seeing that whole like the face, like the blurred face, and like the way they moved and stuff. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have anything like that.
I think I said this last time. The Grudge.
Oh yeah.
With the way she stuck her head out of the door, and so
Yeah.
like if I see a door cracked and it's like dark or whatever in there, I
Yeah,
expect to see a black
It's just
like,
something
at
just.
the top of the door, just like a black head with like hair hanging down, just like emerge from the darkness.
Well, it's like that was like Darkness Falls, same thing. Like the door, like in the dark shadows, you see.
I gotta
on the
rewatch
wall.
that.
Like,
Dude.
hey,
I remember that being
was a
really
it was a good
movie.
movie,
Yeah,
man.
I do remember that being a good movie.
That and Dead Silence. Like Dead Silence is overrated. Like a lot of people don't know about that movie or never watched it, but I love that movie. Like just the way they did it with the dummies and the old lady.
I have to rewatch that for sure.
I'll tell you what.
For real.
Yeah, I gotta watch Dead Silence now.
I'll tell you what really surprised me was how much I wasn't really a fan of A Quiet Place. You guys seen that yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Okay.
I did see it. I saw it in theater.
It's a scary premise that
I didn't like it either, but
by like no spoilers, but by the end, it's not really that scary anymore.
Okay.
The way they do it.
Okay.
So like at the beginning, you're just like terrified, like oh this is like high stakes. At the end, it's just kind of like
oh, I'm thinking of
Okay,
something
so,
else.
like-
Quiet Place was the one with
John Krasinski.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah.
of
Jim.
I'm thinking of the one with the blind. I'm thinking of the one with the blind guy and they sneak into his house.
Oh yeah.
I didn't. It
Oh,
was,
you're talking about
Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe. Yeah.
it was okay, but like
Yeah, but those are more like those are not horror. Those are more like suspense
yeah,
films.
I would say that Quiet Place is not really.
Yeah, it's a suspense.
It's a suspense sci-fi thriller almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it has
Yeah.
aliens and stuff.
That's my favorite type of like horror though. Is the suspense. You know, when you have just jump scares all over the place, it ruins it because it's like, okay, that jump scare's out of the way, now we're just gonna wait till the next one. But if you don't have that jump scare there and you just build tension, you don't know what's gonna happen. And once again, I'm gonna go back to a Jeremy Johns video, but he was reviewing The Woman in Black 2, right? And The Woman in Black 2, I guess, had a scene. I have never seen it. Apparently, it had a scene where there's a hole in the ceiling, and there's this kid looking up at the hole, and he's just like on it, right? And it starts to build tension. He's like, "What's in the hole?" And before you can even like finish your thought, a jump scare happens, and the whole scare is over. And it ruins it. Like it ruins that whole scene. But imagine if you just stared at that hole, and you feel like there's something staring back, and then you never find out what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just like one of those things. Like every time he passes by that hole, he'll be like, "Oh fuck," you know. But you have to ruin it with like, "Oh look up,
Yeah.
no, the pizza guy's here around." Like, it's the worst. I love slow building tension. That's why I love a lot of Japanese horror movies
Yeah.
because they really live
Build it up.
quiet.
Yeah, they build it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
speaking of Woman in Black, oof,
we were telling
that wasn't an overrated film. That's the M. Night Shyamalan one, right?
no.
Or no, I'm thinking Lady in the
Daniel
Lake.
Radcliffe.
That's Woman in Black is the Daniel Radcliffe
Yeah.
one. Yeah, they both sucked. they all sucked.
Me and Lisa were telling Zach to go. It's on Netflix. It's called Hush.
Hush.
Watch that movie if you like slashers. It's basically like
I feel like
it's a deaf woman that's out in this cabin in the woods, and that's
It's like-
all.
Yeah, it was
It's like The Strangers,
that
right,
was
basically.
that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it was really popular with some of my friends.
It's good.
Yeah, I
dude.
watched
It's-
that one.
It's pretty good. And also I was telling him The Vault. Have you seen The Vault with James Franco?
Yes, I've seen. I would
What'd you
like
think
to
of
say
that?
that I almost seen every James Franco film.
What do you think of that?
I thought it was
cool.
good.
I
James
thought it was
Franco
cool.
is that man has no lane. James Franco can do whatever he wants.
Which I hope because they were talking about the whole multiple man with him.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a
Wouldn't that
great.
be badass,
If
dude?
they should make it like Legion in the sense of like how like some of them could have different personalities and like try to get
Oh.
rid of him and like
Yeah.
I almost want them to do like what they did with the comic, like with the spy. I think the last issue's coming out soon. But how they're doing it with that was really cool.
They should. Oh yeah.
How like
James Franco's that dude.
how he went into the future, and in the future world, like ends up being him ruling the future world, and it's like apocalyptic, like looking.
Yeah.
And then realizes he doesn't want to be that way, and he goes back to the past, and then he sends out all these other multiple hymns to learn different things, like learn how to do Doctor Strange magic, how to have become the Hulk, and they end up becoming these characters, and then they go back to the past, and then they go back to the future. It's insane, like the story is insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I just watching a lot of horror movies this year really got me thinking about them and what I like and what I don't like. And I've realized that, like, as much as I love like a lot of the Blumhouse stuff that's been coming out, like Happy Death Day, The Purge, like
Happy Death Day was so good.
It was funny. It was
It
great.
was so good.
It reminded me of like
It wasn't a
Scream.
horror.
It reminded me of like a Scream.
It wasn't a horror film.
but it was marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, but it was good though.
But they have that in The Purge and like The Nun.
The Purge is classified as a horror film. It's not like a thriller or suspense.
It's
a horror film because they're killing people.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like a.
You guys, Ryan had posted something on Facebook earlier today. Remember Final Destination?
Of course.
Oh yeah, I could forget.
That movie, the first one was good.
Good movies.
Maybe the second one was okay, and then after that it was like, all right, you've kind of gone too far with this. Like,
It got to the point where like you ever see those videos of people that are just like how to read a book and then, like they have like huge contraption with like bowling balls or like knocking over wood and like dominoes and stuff, and then like at the end like a cup tips a pencil over and it flips a page of a book.
yeah.
And then like as the person's reading it, like that's what it felt like. It was like this whole like lead up, like all these different things would like come together, and then the person would just kind of like get decapitated.
It's crazy, yeah. The first one was great. Like the concept of the whole thing was great. Like,
I like Final Destination.
but after that, I was like, all right. I mean, we know they're trying to beat death.
Purge is a horror film. Interesting.
How about did you guys ever see Idle Hands?
No.
You never saw Idle Hands? All right, so
Who's in it?
I think the same guy that was in Final Destination. The same.
The main guy?
The main guy.
The first guy.
I think so,
Yeah.
if I'm correct. His hand becomes possessed, and
That sounds familiar.
and he ends up killing Seth Green, or the guy that does Robot Chicken. What's his name? Is it Seth Green?
Yeah,
Is that his name?
that's green, right?
Seth Green, yeah. He is his best friend. He kills his best friend with like a beer bottle or something into the head, and he ends up dying. But he stays in the house. Like he's able to see him in the house. No one else can see him. And he ends up chopping his hand off, and his hand still goes out and kills people.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if it was
cool.
I thought it was kind of cool.
I don't know if
for the
it
time.
was that movie, but I've seen a lot of like evil hand.
It was
movies.
a 90s, like a 90s horror movie. Or Fright Night. We were talking about Fright Night earlier. The original Fright Night. I love that movie.
I'm just gonna look up.
With that,
Purge.
what was that guy in the Fright Night? I'm trying to think. I want to say he was in Karate Kid too. The guy that got the cross on his head. He's like,
Crowley or Lucifer.
I don't know his name.
I don't know. It was Attack on Titan. Or sorry, Hunter x Hunter.
That was the first line.
It's an American horror franchise.
I never saw the first one.
Wow.
Is the first one good?
The second one's better.
Well, I've
Fair,
seen
I
the
mean,
second one. I never saw the first.
I think those are overrated as well.
So the first one
But I like
basically
them.
was a break-in movie, like
Yeah.
it was a home invasion movie.
Okay.
But the Purge was basically a reason why they couldn't call the cops. So like when it came down to it, it was just a home invasion movie.
Yeah.
But they happened to be the Purge, so they couldn't call it.
They have that
That
show.
was the thing.
They have that show that's on USA.
So.
The Purge.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch it.
They're.
Check it out.
But the second
I just-
movie at least put them in the middle of the action.
I like the
I
second
don't
one.
know. I kind of just watch those. I haven't seen the newest one. The first Purge, yeah.
Yeah.
I just kind of watch those movies because I like random acts of violence. But
Oh, now we're talking about this. I just read. So I was trying to read comics.
oh yeah, I heard my roommate said, "Yo, for 2 hours," because So my roommate took this girl to go see the first Purge.
What are we talking about?
The first Purge, the movie.
Wait, I heard like your roommate and a girl. And
Yeah,
first
my roommate took his
your
girl
first Purge to
to the first to the movie The First Purge.
Okay.
And he said because Zach said under his breath for him, Zach was just like racist, and I'm just like because I heard the first Purge was by far like for 2 hours just blatantly.
Oh, that's
in
the
your
one you were
face.
saying. The girl was like,
Yeah, you remember?
The girl was like, well,
she was like, no, well, I just want to let you know, I'm not like that at all. And I'm just like, well, why justify it? Like, I wish I was there to make just a, like, yo, why justify
we didn't do that. My family.
Yeah,
did
she was
that.
like, yeah, I would never do that. That movie is so wrong. And I'm just like, well, why would you
say that?
Why would you even justify yourself? Why
That's like
even
going, like,
take the time to
That's
do
like
it?
if me and Zach went and saw the Django Unchained with you, and we're like,
Okay.
bro, we weren't like that.
I would never say that.
I would
so
never
sorry
say that,
I'm
bro.
white.
I'm so sorry, white.
I'm sorry.
Like I would just be at that point. I would just kind of look at you guys and just be like, "What are you talking
I'm
about?"
never your friends again.
Oh no, I could care less about that type of stuff. I would have been in that movie like, "Yo, get him!" Like, yeah.
I love
me.
that movie.
Django's great, but I definitely felt like it was a weird sense of shame
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
watching it. Like I was just like, I'm so sorry for my ancestors.
No,
Like,
I don't.
I've
never
parts of
felt
it.
that way though. Like, 'cause
I didn't really. I've seen clips.
I felt weird laughing at certain parts because there was a group of black dudes right, and I was laughing, but I was like, they're laughing. When I was laughing, I made sure they were laughing at the same time.
Oh my.
We're cool. Right, bro. Like we're high fiving.
It's just like stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. I find that all of that stuff just very amusing to me.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, it's not that I don't see it. It's
But
just
that's a
that
good
I
way
just
to-
don't care.
That's a good way to. I mean, to treat it, I guess. in a way,
Yeah,
you know?
it's a movie.
Especially all the shit
It's
that's
a
going on
TV
now.
show. Like, what do
Yeah.
you want? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna feel offended about that. Even in real life, I don't like.
Does he still talk to
It's
this
just
girl?
too much. Yeah. No, I told him I was like, yo, I'm like, you need to bring her over, so like we can just like I was like, you need to bring her over so we can just freaking just mess around, bro. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm like, yeah, just bring her over, and then like I'm gonna come
Tell her to
home
order
or whatever.
Papa John's.
I'm gonna come home or whatever, and I'm gonna be like, oh hey, how you doing? And then I just need you to be like, oh yeah, hey John, that's the girl I went to go see the first Purge with. Oh, so she's the one. All right, and then just go off into a rant about how racist I think she is, and just make her feel uncomfortable.
Or
and then just
what
be
you
like,
should
I'm
do
just
is
kidding.
buy one of those masks, the ones that glow, and you go in your room and you put it on. You're like, hey, is this one of the masks your ancestors used to wear?
Oh my god.
Really get her at that way.
I just mess around. Did I ever tell you guys about the Papa John's
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
okay,
said.
I did. All
Or
right.
you should be like, you should come out with a Papa John's box. Here, isn't this what your ancestors ate?
Oh.
Care for some lemonade?
Woo.
You like some Kentucky Fried Chicken? Because
Why you
he
sit on your
said it
porch?
was okay.
Oh man, good times.
You just use that to your.
I just heard you. I just remembered you said. I just heard porch, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You guys have any questions or anything you guys want to ask us about anything?
Oh my
We're in
God.
the final minutes, the last 9 minutes.
We got 9 minutes of playtime.
Thank you guys for watching all these times we were on. By the way, I just wanted
Yeah,
to say that.
it actually
Seriously.
really means a lot. So.
Ryan says, "I wish there was a horror film centered around demons."
Demon Night.
But good.
But isn't
Look.
like what do you mean by centered around demons, Ryan? Because there's like like Conjuring's demon.
Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night. If you want to see a real good demon movie, that kind of it's a 90s, I think 97, 98, maybe 2000s, but it's a good demon movie.
Did you? Speaking of Conjuring, they're making a new
Conjuring 3.
Is it a Conjuring 3?
Yeah, we had that discussion earlier too.
Dude, yeah, it's like it's eating kids or something like that. or-
The one you're.
La Llorona.
Yeah, that one. That one's like it's
Sounds
like
so sexy.
some lady who's just like eating kids or something. Like that.
It's based on actual folklore. So
She's
like,
eating kids.
it's like a Mexican boogeyman, basically. But they would tell kids like if they
Boogie
were
woman.
Boogie woman, sorry, Boogie Paris.
Boogie
Don't
Puss.
look under the bed reference. It's Boogie Paris. No, basically they would tell the children over there to go to bed, and if they're still up past their bedtime, La Llorona would come and get them.
Oh, of course.
Because it was a weeping woman who was like forever in
Blood.
search of her children, and then she would take whatever kids she could find. Which sounds terrifying. Sounds like a terrifying premise. Watching the trailer, it looks like they're trying to remake
Hansel and Gretel.
The Nun, which just came out. Like it's like similar
Hansel-
scares.
I like that version. Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel.
Well, that's what
From
I
Mexico.
that's what I.
Hansel and
that's-
Gretel go to Tijuana, Mexico.
And I didn't see the trailer, but I saw like a little. I don't remember what I saw, but it wasn't a trailer. Like I think I saw a poster or whatever. And it
Okay.
was just like from the people of Conjuring, and it kind of looked like. She looked like she was just like the nun, like
Yeah,
so it
she
kind
has
of
that
looked
look,
like
yeah.
and I was just
like a veil. She has like a white veil.
yeah, and I was just like, huh, so
If you watch the trailer, it's very similar scares. Like the same kind of like beats. You can count to 3, and then you'll know exactly when she comes out.
I'm
like,
down to see. I'll
the
still
music.
watch it,
The music
probably.
cuts out every time. Like that's the thing with these horror movies nowadays.
oh yeah, they prep you.
It's like they have the music and it goes.
Yeah,
The music dies down. 3, 2, 1.
yeah.
Did you
Every
guys?
time.
And that's why I don't like the movies. What I don't think people are realizing is that in their movies, they're letting you know when it's about to happen.
Yeah.
As far as the music, the lighting, like it just like I went to go see The Nun, and there was a part where there's this whole like dramatic scene or whatever where they're like praying to fight the nun or the demon, and then all of a sudden like there's a bang on the door and it's the preacher and he's like, hey, let me in, and then like she gets up, turns around, and then in the moment that she gets up, turns around, I'm just like, oh, you know, this is crazy, blah blah blah, and then she gets up, turns around, and I'm just like, not real. And then she gets to the door, opens the door, and she's like, Father, yeah, we were praying. We're all praying to stop the demon, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Sister, who are we? Who's the people you're talking about? And she turns around, nobody's there. You want to know why? The lighting. Because it went from a very dark, like everything was dark and gray, and then as she turned around, there was a red tinge of light. And I'm just like, so not real. Like that, I catch those things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and it completes me. It pulls me out of the film.
You guys saw Sixth Sense, right?
Oh,
Bruce Willis?
Did you figure it out within the movie? Like, did you figure Bruce Willis's?
Willis.
Did you figure it out? Like I did. Like I figured it out as
Yeah, at the mid
When
the
he's-
beginning or middle of the film.
yeah when he's talking to her at the table. And I'm
Yeah.
like, he's dead. I'm like,
It's like those.
I'm like, all right, I'm done.
And that's why. But that's in Sixth Sense is M Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like M Night Shyamalan. He's such an overrated
Yeah.
director.
There's a
His
few-
movies suck.
Well-
There has never been a movie that I've
Wow.
watched by this man that I was just like, I'm watching. I'll watch the movie. I'll watch the movie, and then it's playing out, and I'm just like, all right. End of the movie. The huge twist.
I like The Village.
Are you serious? Like, his movies supposedly it's like, you know, psycho, whatever, and I'm just like, but his movies are so. What's the word?
Did you watch the one where the
predictable?
Did you watch the recent one he had done with the
Split.
not Split, the other one? It was like more of a horror movie with two old people. The kids go over and visit their grandparents that they haven't seen in years.
Oh yeah, they try to eat them, throw them in the oven, and
That
stuff
shit
like that.
was,
I can't.
bro. That movie, no, dude, that movie was.
His
That movie was
movies,
good.
his movies are very predictable. Like up until a certain point, I'll be watching one of his movies and I'll be like, all right, so knowing it's M Night Shyamalan, there's gonna be some huge, crazy, mind-blending twist. And I'm watching the movie and I'm like, all right, it's probably gonna be this. And then, sure enough,
Well, you're
it's that.
You're just too smart for him.
Nah, it's not too smart. I'm
Predictability.
Yeah.
I'm 20 plus years of age. I've watched enough TV shows and movies to my content
Did you like-
clues skills are very good.
Did you like The Village? You didn't like The Village?
No, Sixth Sense was a good movie.
That was okay. So
I like The Village. Like that was one of my favorites, and then the one I was telling you about.
Yeah, with the I don't remember the title of it, but I know what you're. Yeah, it's
Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, kind of.
Sure.
that was my problem with La Llorona, is predictability.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
is it
was-
out already?
No,
It's
it's
the same
from the trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the trailer,
because I thought that they could like really like go crazy with it, because that's her thing, is that she's always crying. You can always hear her crying in
Yeah.
the distance, and that's how you know she's close. And like they turn it into a bunch of jump scares, and like the way they do it is like I was saying, like with most of these horror movies that are coming out, you can count down to the jump scare,
Yeah.
you know exactly when it's happened. And then there's a scene in the trailer where they're basically doing the Jurassic Park Jeep scene again, where the kids are locked in the car and there's something creepy on the outside.
Yeah.
They can't see.
and
Yeah,
then
they
there's a
can't
point-
see it, but they hear it, and
There's a point when the car doors unlock and like they lock them all or whatever, and like the music kind of like quiets down, and then the kid's like looking out the window, there's nothing there, and then the camera with the kid pans down to the bottom of the door. He sees the blankets like sticking out of the door, so he opens the door real quick, pulls the blanket in, closes it, and then when he looks back up, the camera looks back up with him, and of course
yeah, it's there.
it's there,
Yeah.
and you know it's gonna happen. And that's what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
if they just
Relax, bro.
When we went to go see The Nun,
Have a churro.
there was this we saw The Nun, and there's a like two seats up from us, and then there's this people behind us, like, yo, the nun, we're watching The Nun, and all
Yeah.
these jump scares and stuff is happening, and then like, yo,
Don't tell me, because I want
the
to watch.
guy in front, the two guys in front, like two grown men,
Jumped.
big grown men, just kind of like, whoa, what am I like? And I'm just like, are you serious? And then there's this chick hysterically freaking out behind us. Just like after every scene, I'm just like, yo, you have to be kidding me. The only reason why, like, normally if I'm at a theater, I'm the type of person like, yo, if you're DTPing, I'm going to have to handle that. Like, I do not like that at all. So if it wasn't for the fact that the girl wasn't with, because one of the guys is like I kind of know him. He's a customer who used to come into Hudson's, who works at the Oviedo Mall movie theater.
Okay.
So the only reason why I didn't say nothing is because she was with him.
Oh, okay.
And had it have been, and like, you know, it's whatever, but had it have been any random other person, I would have stood up, turned around, and been like, yo, if you cannot handle the movie, I need you to exit the theater. If you don't want to, I will go grab an usher, because
I
like
will
you
do it
are,
for you.
yeah, you are ruining this film for me right now. And I was with my best friend, and like we're trying to watch a movie, and we're just kind of like, we're like, yo, oh my god, are you serious right now? Like, she was like freaking out, like it was bad, and I'm just like, you have to be kidding me. Obviously
You have to be
horror
kidding.
horror films aren't for you, so I don't know why you're watching them.
Yeah, I think that's that kind of like universal scare, I think, though. But that's the thing, is like with jump scares, movies rely so heavily on it. It's like a haunted house that you go and watch, you know, like a haunted maze, Halloween Horror Nights that you just go and watch for like 2 hours. But that's the thing, is with jump scares, anybody can do it. You can have a cat jump into the frame and go, "Meow." You get the same jump. You can have the guy from Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, where he's like, "Run," and just have him like come into frame, and you get the same jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the
Yeah,
same,
yeah.
like, it doesn't matter what it is. And, like, people were saying, like, oh, it's the build-up. And it's like, that's the best part.
Ghost Spider.
Have that build up,
Just-
just keep going.
My thing is, I think people need to, you know, I think they need to take the time, sit down and reevaluate what a horror film is,
Yeah.
what a slasher film is. Because the last slasher film we had, I don't even remember. We have Michael now, the newest one.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
I don't know.
We'll see how it goes.
I don't consider, like, the man has a knife. I don't really consider that to be a slasher film per se. Like Freddy, slasher film.
You think
know,
they'll ever show his
Jason-
face though?
probably in this one, seeing how it should be the last one.
Because I want to see his face. Like,
They're
like,
already planning on making another one.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're not seeing his face.
I wanted to see what, like, is it distorted? Is it like,
Like Jason.
Did you see Halloween 2? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
Yeah. Is it supposed to like that?
Well, I mean, like they showed it in that one, and he was just like a bump with a long. He looked like Rob Zombie.
a bump with
Yeah.
a.
He looked like Rob Zombie, long hair, long beard. But in this one, it showed them from behind in the secretly Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
It showed him from behind in like the asylum that he's at or whatever, and he's like locked up, and it's like, Michael, look at the bath. Michael, what do you think, Michael?
Yeah, it shows him.
And it shows him from behind, and he looks like Kane,
Yeah, yeah.
like with the kind of like
Bald,
curly,
yeah.
balding hair.
I don't know. I think people need directors need to, if you're gonna do a horror film, I think you need to take the time, sit down, do some homework, research, and realize what people actually want and care about, what makes a good horror film, and then present it as such. Because, like again, the Halloween movies never did it for me. I don't. He's a guy with a knife.
Yeah.
Again, I put those movies into like a very, you know, like a, I guess, conceptual term of realism. Yo, I would Michael should not run up into my house because that wouldn't end well for him. Like I don't understand. I don't get it because
He'll
like
get the lotion
he's a
Michael.
He's just
with
I
the knife in the basket.
I honestly just don't get it. Like I don't get how there was a second movie. Like Michael should have just been done off in the first one. Like I don't. He's a dude.
It was originally supposed
With
to
a
be an
knife.
anthology.
Yeah. I heard.
Season of the Witch.
Indestructible.
But like no, but he's like he's not. He doesn't have any special abilities or anything like that,
No,
right?
he's
Or
just-
anything. He's just a dude in a mask. He's just a
Super
serial killer.
resilient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he has low tolerance to pain or high
Yeah,
tolerance to pain.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nah. There's ways to get around that.
I just think that I think you're right in that we need to spend more time with it, because I think nowadays we could use more horror icons, and I'm not talking Annabelle and the Nun,
That's what I'm saying.
because
The 80s and the 90s had icons, had horror film icons. The 2000s, we don't have that. We
Yeah.
just keep playing the old guys. We have a
Yeah.
new Michael. We have a new Jason. What was the last Freddy? The Freddy versus Jason was 2006, right? Or something like 2003, 4, 5.
we
around there.
had a Freddy reboot with
Yeah, and we had a Freddy reboot.
with,
Like we're just
Rorschach.
we're just taking old stuff and just bringing it into new. And that's just honestly that's just kind of really just the big problem with Hollywood is that we just keep reiterating
nostalgia.
stuff.
Yeah.
We need a new
Yeah.
face of horror.
Rob Zombie tried to do that with 31
Yeah.
with Doomhead.
And I was in.
And the Nazi little person.
Ryan says icons like Pinhead.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an icon. That's an icon.
Which we haven't
the
had in a
closest thing
while.
we have right now is the Nun and
Yeah, we didn't have Freddy Cougar. You know, we used to have Freddy Cougar, Jason Voorhees.
icons.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, you saw.
Universal monsters.
We don't
Yeah,
have those
exactly.
anymore.
We don't. Yeah, we don't have.
It's just now it's ghosts.
Werewolf Man. We don't have. Like, we don't have the
Werewolf.
swamp monster. We don't have
I like that.
creature from the Black
Black
Lagoon.
Lagoon.
Like we don't have things like that anymore. And
Which I
like
didn't know he made a noise until I watched Monster Squad, and he makes like a growling noise. He's like,
yeah, it's
like he's breathing for air.
Ryan said I had high hopes about Trick or Treat when that first came out. Yeah, but like. I could see why you would have, I honestly I think I had high hopes for it too, and then it just like I don't know, and then like we're just filling this void in with the Nun, the Conjuring, but it's the same demon. Like it's a demon or a ghost or or it's people, which like I'm a huge Supernatural fan. Supernatural, like at the beginning, Supernatural was mortifying for most people. Like some people couldn't even sit through like a whole episode and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's just Supernatural always has this thing about like they're killing vampires, demons, all these different supernatural creatures, but they always say that the worst, the worst evil, the worst creature are humans. Nothing is more horrible than human. than a human. That was always a thing that they always said, and I always found that very interesting because it's talking about yes, humans as a general, but just as because with time and just like the way they were raised, like human beings can be the ugliest monsters, and it's crazy that it's always crazy for them to see a human being going down that path or something like that and just basically becoming a monster or whatnot. And like we just don't have like, and what I'm trying to say is basically like they're trying to fill the void with the purge. Like that's why there's been so many purge movies. It's people. I'm not afraid of people. That doesn't do anything.
I think they make those because they know people are going to go see
ghosts.
They know people are going to go see these movies, so they know it makes the money. So that's why they're going to go.
Yeah, no, of course.
I would love a demon movie that doesn't have anything to do with possession.
Okay.
I'm so sick
Just a
of
straight up demon.
Just a straight demon?
Yeah, just like
physical form or like astral form or what are we talking?
So imagine The Conjuring. You guys have seen The Conjuring?
Yeah, of course.
Imagine The Conjuring without the possession.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine The Conjuring if, because there was a scene when the mom gets locked in the basement.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of like the turning point, basically, for the possession part.
Yeah.
Imagine if she was locked down there with a demon and they got her out and she had seen some shit and she's like quiet for the rest of the movie, right? And they're having to deal with like where did this demon go? Like what is going on?
Yeah.
And they have to fight off this demon that keeps like appearing, reappearing, whatever. Instead of it just being like, okay, mom's possessed, we have to exorcise her now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like that keeps happening. Like the Babadook.
Yeah.
The Babadook was terrifying as a creature, having it crawl on the ceiling stuff.
Yeah.
You get that one scene, the rest of the movie, the mom's possessed.
Yeah.
And now suddenly she's the horror.
And it's always a singular point. Like someone is possessed.
Yeah.
You can't just have the demon free roaming the house.
Could you imagine if like a demon like possessed multiple people at the same time and they all just kind of like turn towards you?
Oh yeah.
But
That'd
even
be
that,
crazy.
like I don't want possession.
Speaking of that, there was an episode of Supernatural where like this demon was like strong enough to just like it basically locked a bunch of people in a house and it just kept jumping from person to person and you never knew who was
like
possessed.
That.
And it was a good
They did
episode.
that with
it was a good episode.
Denzel Washington. There was a movie with him.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what that's called, but I know what you're talking about.
You would hear him sing, like whoever was the demon, they would sing that same song.
Yeah, they'd like hum it or something.
Yeah,
like
hum it,
as
or
they're
you
like
would-
walking
yeah.
or something. Yeah, but like Ryan says, that's a wonderful idea.
I know. Thank you.
I'd love an original horror film with a scarecrow as the monster. Don't we have it? Wasn't there?
They've had a couple of those, yeah.
Isn't that like
Nothing like
no, it's not
iconic
Children of the
though.
Corn.
Nothing.
What am I
Nothing.
thinking?
All right,
Jeepers
so,
Creepers?
Did you guys
Yeah,
ever
kind of.
did you guys ever see a movie called Nightbreed? And it has
No.
James Brolin in it.
No.
Never seen it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nightbreed, there was a character in that movie where the bad guy was a murderer, like a killer, like a slasher, and he would put this like almost like the trick or treat like sack over his head with like these button eyes, and he would have different knives, and he would go to these people, like literally go to like a family's house and kill everybody in the house, and then like
Josh Brolin.
yeah, Josh Brolin.
Okay.
So he would, and then the killer was a psychiatrist that was taking on these patients, and then he would blame his patients that were saying that they were murdering these people. So he blamed Josh Brolin for like a murder, and then he ends up learning about this graveyard where it's called Nightbreed, where all these creatures, like demons and whatever, live underground. It's like I'm trying to think, like a society of creatures, monsters
Yeah.
that live underground, but they're safe in this graveyard until humans end up finding out about them. The slash guy finds out and wants to become, because they have this stuff that if they give it to you, you become a monster and you can live forever and be immortal, blah blah blah. It's crazy. Like they were supposed to take that slasher from that movie and continue it on. It was the guy that did who made the Pinhead movies?
I don't remember.
Clive Barker.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a Clive Barker film.
Okay.
Nightbreed. It used to be on Netflix for a little bit, but it might be on Amazon or you can probably find it somewhere.
I have to look that up.
It's pretty cool.
Ryan said a rated R remake of Children of the Corn would be pretty cool as long as the remake was rated
You'll probably
R.
get that.
Yeah.
With
they are
Pet
working on a remake.
Cemetery.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are working on it. Ryan said also he posed as a scarecrow, but he wasn't an actual scarecrow.
That is actually burned into my mind. That scene where
Jeepers Creepers, right?
yeah, where she's like
Oh,
looking at
dude,
the
that's what I was about to say. I was about to
That's
say
not
Jeepers
mine.
Creepers 1 and 2.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. I was
Awesome.
fine with Jeepers Creepers. I thought those were
The
good.
third
They're
one is god awful. Don't watch
good.
it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
We don't even talk about that.
yeah,
one.
that doesn't exist.
Pull up Nightbreed.
I remember when the first one came out. And I went
While
to
we're
go
going
see
way
that.
over, sorry guys. But hey,
Yeah, 12. I mean, if you guys are still down to watch, we're still down to talk. You know. So.
Nightbreed, 1990.
Clive Barker, right?
You see the cover?
Nightbreed.
Should have Josh Brolin on the front of it, like, yeah, with a porcupine lady. Yeah.
Thanos, everybody.
Yeah,
Wow.
I just think they need
They
to.
had like this moon head shaped guy. They had a guy that had like these like eel snake things
I
come
just
out.
think they need to take the time to.
And they had
do some stuff.
These things called moon creatures, and when the humans tried to attack them, like came to kill all these creatures because they found out where they were. They released these like moon creatures that were like pretty like berserker like monsters. They came out and just started killing everybody. It was awesome.
So Ryan says that movie Overlord looks really
Oh
good.
yeah, dude.
Though it's not a traditional horror film, it looks
Did
more
you
like a
see that,
horror-slash
Zach?
action, but it still looks good though.
It looks like as
Dude.
close to where as we're gonna get to a Wolfenstein movie.
Dude, it looked like that
looks
one
awesome.
trailer where the
Every
guy
time I
turned.
think of Overlord, I keep my mind goes to the anime.
When the guy turns around, that trailer, have you seen that when the guy turns
He's
around?
Yeah.
And then like the whole like scenes of like the guys looking through the thing and you see like he's looking like through the slot of the door and you see like someone grab a body real quick and it's like really quick.
I've only seen
Crazy.
Oh, is that the
the
one?
gif of the guy with the torn face.
Is that the one where
J.J. Abrams, I think, did he do it?
the one
Yeah,
where
where
they're
he's
like it looks
producing
like
it?
Yes.
they're in this tunnel, and the dude walks up to this hole in the wall, and then like,
There's a black dude in the one trailer
yeah,
where he's
he
looking
walks
through a
into a
slot.
hole. Yeah,
And he's-
that. Okay,
it's
I know.
like based in like Nazi Germany or
Yeah,
like
I know.
things like that.
And there's like this thing that kind of like morphs out of this
Yeah, it looks
gooey thingy or whatever.
creepy and cool.
Yeah.
I've been pulling to John and intentionally not watching the trailers for it because I've seen a couple of stills and I'm down. I don't want to see anything about it. And so
November, man. We gotta wait till November. I wish it was out like now.
Ryan says J.J. Abrams. Well, November is a couple days now.
Yeah, it's
replacing
November
lens
4th.
flare with
Oh.
blood.
It looks cool.
2 days after Bohemian Rhapsody, man.
Dude, it looks good. Like
You
it looks like intense. Like scary.
I hope
like,
it's good, man, because like I'm really
like Zach said.
really getting done with everything.
Like Zach said, it's kind of like your Wolfenstein.
The closest we're gonna get to Wolfenstein.
Did you guys watch Split, right?
I haven't seen it.
No.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I liked it as a sort of psychological study on a person like that, like with an advanced case.
Yeah,
Of-
multiple personality disorder.
But the fact that it was what it was at the end, where it was part of the Unbreakable universe,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I gotta go back
Without-
and
without-
watch it.
they didn't market it as that at all. Like you don't even like they didn't even say that Bruce Willis was in it.
Yeah.
Nothing. You didn't know that it was part of that universe until the very end.
Yeah.
That was his twist.
I
really enjoyed Split. I think that's my favorite movie that he's ever made.
I have never seen the movie. I have been told word for word, image for image, how that movie plays out, and again, because it's an M. Night Shyamalan film, as he's explaining the film to me, I'm just like, okay, let me take over.
Okay.
Does this happen? This happen? This happen? And he's just like, yeah. I'm just like, continue.
Wow.
And I'm just like, because like dude, his movies. Oh, and it's because of the way he described the first scene to me. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching
Yeah.
that movie. It's the way he described, because in the trailer, you you get that scene where like
Yeah.
it looks like he attacks the dad and then gets in the car,
Yeah,
and the girls are kind of like,
See, I like that. I didn't even watch it because of that like whole thing because of my daughter. You know, I was like, no, I can't, and then we stopped watching it. But I want to go back now to rewatch.
Yeah, no, you should. I mean, I rewatch Unbreakable, and I'm gonna watch Class when it comes out, but I'm not watching Split. There's no need for me to do that.
Hey guys, any now I can ask you, anything you guys want us to do differently for the show or different for the shows I do, just to try to make things. I want to try to.
We would like input.
Yeah, input.
We would love input because
I want to make my show obviously better. Hopefully the ones I'm doing with the doing one single issue now and trying to make it better. We want to grow, so I want to get more subscribers and whatever we can do. So your comments would help and stuff. So, and then John, I think eventually, like he might be here once in a while, might not, depending on his work stuff.
Work's starting to get crazy.
We're also working on. Me and Zach did a podcast a couple of Sundays ago. We're trying to get that loaded up or figure out how to do it. We've never done it before. It's great. It's funny. Once we get that loaded up, we're going to start doing those too to get that on iTunes, whatever the podcast things we can do. So yeah, we're trying to do that, and hopefully that'll get some new subscribers and some new stuff, and we'll get John on there too if he can't do the live stream or something. But you'll get me and Zach all the time for the lives.
All the time.
John, we'll mix him in once in a while when he can with his new job. So. But yeah, so we definitely want to hear your feedbacks, any comments to help us along with the show. I was telling them like if they can give us some info on like what they want to see or what.
Exact.
Oh, I was saying I was trying to like say give us some comments or feedback on some of the shows that we do, anything to make it look better or do better, on certain things.
Brian said earlier streams, if at all possible, and a podcast would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to work on the podcast for sure.
We could me and Zach could probably do earlier streams, depending on what time we get off work and stuff. Yeah, we could probably work that out. What time would everybody like?
That would be.
What's a good time? Because we just went with
something. 8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10 would probably be the best time. To be honest, for people.
Any earlier than that, it might be a hit or miss because of my job.
Yeah, mine too. So.
Yeah,
me and Zach deliver stuff, so it's kind of hard like to pinpoint when we're gonna get off. Certain times, then we have to, of course, get home and get ready to eat and all that stuff. But yeah, like I said, me and Zach got the first podcast. We're hopefully gonna get that loaded up eventually. It's a process to do everything. As far as I read, and I know Zach read some stuff too. It's a process to like you have to like.
I was like, you could just upload a podcast, but it's like no, you gotta get it. Send off for it.
If any of you guys know how to do it, and you just send us information or something. But we're trying to figure it out. But the first one it's the one we did is
great,
hilarious. It's great. I've listened to it 3 times and laughed every time.
Ryan says 8 to 10 sounds pretty good.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
We'll start shooting for that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that way if we go over or whatever, it won't be so late.
Yeah, we can do that. We just did 10.
Like now.
Well, we did 10 originally. We did 10 originally because of the job you have now.
Yeah.
The time you're getting off, so that's why we did 10. So it gave John all the time to get here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But right now he has.
Originally we were gonna do because I remember the first time like when my schedule changed and I was like getting off at 7. I was like, all right, well if I get off at 7, I could probably be there like around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But we still just did it at 10 anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, we can make.
Ryan said it's just have to wake up early for work, but I stay awake to support you guys. Well, thanks.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You're a young buck. You can do it.
You guys are the goat.
Yeah. No, seriously, the ones that stay and watch, and like the 3 or 4, I appreciate. Regardless if we don't have 10 or 12 or 20, whatever it is, like.
Having people support and like be involved in the chat is fucking awesome.
Yeah. This is my like what would you call it, like therapy, you know, like
Comic therapy.
yeah, exactly, you know, like when I have a rough day or a rough week like I've had, just
You
like
did that, and my mind went straight to Dave Chappelle.
this thing of the crack dude, the crack guy,
Can't stop.
No, you know, when I have a rough week at work, and I know at the end of the week on a Friday I can come and talk about, you know, comic books and
Yeah, of
movies
course,
and
it's
horror
nice.
movies and all
Yeah.
that stuff, you know, like now I can go to bed happy, you know. So
Fulfilled.
fulfilled. But,
Yeah.
no, I seriously, guys, appreciate all the support you guys have given us, and I hope we can continue on giving you awesome material.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Hoping to get some microphones and
webcam and
better streaming equipment and stuff like that. So we're gonna be growing the channel here soon. Just take some time, but
Yeah, that might be possible.
true. Yeah.
yeah, Twitch.
If we could do both, that'd be awesome. Also.
Yeah.
Do YouTube and Twitch at the same time, just have two set up.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
awesome.
really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Twitch you can get a lot of different people too. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll be. I'm gonna call it a night.
I'll do it.
Good night, everybody.
Stay sharp. Sleep tight.
Or die.
Jeez. No, live on for us, guys.
Live on. Sorry, I was getting in the mood. So.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, see you all next Friday. If it
No, yeah, I'll be here.
All right, next Friday he'll be here. Hopefully we'll get them to wearing, you know, costumes.
Oh yeah, that next Friday's gonna be the Halloween show for sure.
Halloween.
It's next
Oh, bring
Friday.
your
Next
candy.
Friday, Halloween.
Next Friday is the Friday before Halloween.
Yeah, so we have to do Halloween.
it is
Halloween it up.
It's the Wednesday after. I believe, right?
31st Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's for okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Halloween party. Halloween.
All right, guys. We're
All
off
right.
to the Monster Mash. You have a good night.
All right, see ya.
Off to the monster.
Or
Mash.
Thriller.
Yeah.